When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So when the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk.
So people make we talk. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean. It's the Make We Talk program right here on the Make We Talk YouTube channel with yours truly, Jeffrey T. I want to say good afternoon to everyone. On the sound of my voice, good afternoon to you. It's a beautiful, beautiful Monday afternoon. We have with us, joining us later on at 7 p.m. will be none other than the son of the soil himself, the son of the poor people, the man who continued defending the poor class of Jamaicans. He's now running in East Portland. None other than Mr. Isat Buchanan. He will be my special guest this evening at 7 p.m. But I intend to start a little bit early because I want to speak about a situation that I saw on social media. First, somebody called me about it. It was on Andre's program, Partner Draw TV program. And I listened to it. We're going to speak about that also. We want to speak about what former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson has to say to the criticizing the Holness administration. We want to speak about that also. As I said before, we're going to have Mr. Isat Buchanan coming on. We're also going to have Head Boy. Head Boy is going to join us soon. He will be our special guest also, our co-host. Mr. Rattigan is scheduled to come on, but I know he has something else to do, so let's pray and hope he does come on. But of course, our special guest will be none other than Mr. Isat Buchanan. I want to say good afternoon to all our friends and family over there on our TikTok page. Thank you all very much for joining us. I want to say thanks to my producer in the chat room, one of my producers in the chat room. Well, should I say the main producer in the chat room, Walking in Divine Purpose, who continue to stand by my side here on this program. Who continue to stand by my side here on the program. Today is, well, come the 13th, I think, the 13th of February is the official opening of the Parliament of Jamaica, where the throne speech will be given by His Excellency the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Linton Allen, and then the budget debate starts. What we expect from the budget debate, many of us, they're saying that the budget may not go into the tune of 1 point something trillion this time. We don't know. But based on what we're hearing from economist Mr. Ralston Hyman, today Ralston is saying that the Bank of Jamaica continue pumping money into the Jamaican economy to save the Jamaican dollar. Because as what former Minister of Finance Audley Shaw once said, they're having a dollar wine, 5 cent, 10 cent dollar, the dollar whining. The Jamaican dollar is whining out of proportion. And it don't look good. It don't sound good. I want to say, for all of us here on this platform, we have some changes coming to the program. We have some changes coming to the programs on the YouTube channel here. We're not going to speak too much about it, but some changes are coming to the program. You're going to see some new faces on this program, not only my face alone. We're just working on behind the scene here to get stuff done, along with Walking in Divine Purpose and others. My wife will be getting involved in it too. Of course, my good friend Wilfred Rattigan is one of the person who is promoting certain things to be done to this channel. Without further ado, let us start the program. And I think I'm going to start with the young lady. Let me make something clear to Jamaicans. And we must, I keep on saying this on this platform, we must get a copy. We must get a copy of the Jamaican Constitution, the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedom. 1. No police officer must come to your premises unless they have a search warrant. I heard on Mr. Stevens' program a couple nights ago with the same young lady, Rosalie. And the police had told Rosalie that they're on some other operations. When she was talking to Andre, I immediately contact a member of the hierarchy of the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And he said to me, Jeffrey, not Nagosa. There's no, I can't remember the exact name. There's no special operation that name, sir. Jamaicans, do not let any member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force on your premises unless they have a search warrant signed by a justice of the peace. And that is why it is best for all of us to learn how to read and write. It is best for all of us to come to programs like these and others, Wilfred Rattigan, Andre, and others, to understand the fundamental issues that we face in this country. That we, the Jamaican people, must know our rights. Rosalie, freedom, Rosalie rights, her constitutional rights was breached. And one thing I would say to Rosalie, desist from saying what you're going to do and just do it. I see where your MP, Mr. Hilton, come out and speaking about it. I see where Jamaican for Justice come out and speak about it also. And I'm going to play the audio clipping that I taped earlier on from a news organization. Jamaicans for Justice was on their program speaking. So I'm going to play that also. Hold on for me. Oh, Lord. I'm going to play that. Let me go back to this here. Yes. Let me see if I can get this to play here. Because I want you all to listen to what Jamaican for Justice is saying. Because when I heard about it on Andre program, I immediately start calling around to some people that I know. And I spoke to somebody within the walls of Jamaicans for Justice. I don't know if the young lady has an attorney, but she needs to get an attorney. Listen to what Jamaicans for Justice is saying. We're standing by to join at 7 o'clock. Our special guest, none other than attorney at law, human rights attorney at law, Mr. Isat Buchanan. He's a PNP MP candidate for Eastern Portland. What is wrong with me this evening? Eastern Portland. I want you all to listen to this.
Jamaicans for Justice JFJ is condemning the illegal recording of TikTok personality June Rosalie Dixon during a police operation at her home on Saturday. The video, which began circulating online, shows Ms. Dixon naked. It's suspected that she was videotaped by one of the police carrying out the operation. Executive Director of JFJ, Michael Jackson, says such recordings are in breach of the protocols that govern the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF.
The allegations are that there was a recording of her without her clothes on. And you ask yourself the question, why did that recording happen in the first place? And how did it make it on social media? The police ought not to be involved in illegal recording of any citizen of Jamaica. You have several constitutional rights that must be considered. You have the right not to self-incriminate, so no police officer should be forcing you to issue any word of apology.
You hear that? At no time at all, no member of the security force should force any Jamaican citizen to apologize to no one. You have the right, under our constitution, you have the right for freedom of speech. You have the right to move freely. Listen to some more what she's saying. Because that young lady, Rosalie, what happened to her can happen to any one of us. But we must know the law. We must know the law. And the member of the Jamaica Constabulary Force who did that, you're despicable. You're rude, you're obnoxious, and you're out of order. You should not be in the Jamaica Constabulary Force. And I hope and pray that Rosalie get justice for what happened to her. And we all must rally around her. This can't continue in this country. Where because you don't live in Beverly Hills and Cherry Garden, because you live below Crossroad, the Jamaica Constabulary Force believe that they can walk on the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people. No more. It needs to stop. Listen to some more of what Jamaicans for Justice is saying.
You have a constitutional right to privacy, and that must be respected. And anything else to the contrary is a breach of the Constitution and a breach of the protocols that govern our police officers. It is outrageous, and I think we must all condemn such action.
The JCF has launched an investigation into the matter. It says the probe is being conducted by the Criminal Investigation Branch and the Inspectorate and Professional Oversight Bureau to determine the facts surrounding the incident. Ms. Jackson is demanding strong disciplinary actions against any JCF member found guilty of the act.
We have taken note that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is investigating the matter, but I take it a step further. We must demand an update of the outcome of that investigation, because while we welcome the announcement of the investigation, we must also hold the JCF to the fire to say that the public ought to be made aware of the outcome and the disciplinary actions that may be taken against any officer who was involved in that particular incident.
Michael.
And I would advise Rosalie to sue the Ministry of National Insecurity. In other words, sue the government of Jamaica. I'm not a lawyer, nor do I profess to be a lawyer. But I'm pretty much sure you stand a chance, Rosalie. Sue the Jamaican government. Sue Dr. Harris Chang. Sue the police himself and sue the Jamaica Constable Force. Sue the Ministry of National Insecurity and Injustice. For far too long, these people believe that they can continue to infringe on the fundamental rights of the Jamaican people and get away with it. In no other modern democracy is this nonsense continue to happen, this nonsense allowed to happen, more than in Jamaica. So I say to her tonight, if you're listening, nobody know her listening to TikTok or this YouTube channel, get a lawyer, a credible lawyer. A credible lawyer. A lawyer who will stand by you. Yeah, some lawyer in Jamaica say them licky and nyami. And the JCF will buy them out. I don't know if you can get our good friend Isat Buchanan and his law firm. But for far too long, we the people in this country continue to face injustice in this country that we call Jamaica. For far too long. And I think the time has come for all of us, every single one of us, to stand around. It doesn't matter. That policeman should be fired from the JCF without any pay. He should be banned from working in any government entity in this country. And his name, you know what? I don't go down the road then. He should be fired. Number one, you enter the woman's home illegally. You don't have a search warrant. And I'm saying this again tonight, Jamaicans. Do not let the security forces enter your premises until they can show you a search warrant signed by a Jamaican Justice of the Peace. Not signed by the Minister of National Security. Don't sign by the Commissioner of Police. Signed by a Justice of the Peace. How on earth can you see it fit and you hide and do it, but yet you know why nobody can? You see though? Yet they don't want to wear any body cam, but you can see it fit to video a young lady. It is your home. But I'm going to say this to you also, Rosalie. Do not sleep naked, my dear. It's not good for you to sleep naked at night. See what happened to you now? It is wrong. It is wrong for what they did. It is wrong, and something ought to be done. They dare not go up to Upper St. Andrew and Norbrook and Beverly Hills and do those things. They dare not go up to the people of the Vumva and the Vumva and believe they can break into somebody's house and video them and put it on social media. This is the country that we live in. This is the country that we call home. Where government step on our fundamental rights. Police do it. And nothing has been done. If it takes you 3-4 years, Rosalie, stand by it and show them. Sue the government of this country. Sue that policeman. And that policeman should not be allowed to work in the JCF anymore. He's a pervert. He's a pervert. Is he videoing our little young ladies? That's what he's doing too? Is he videoing our young ladies? The JCF has some pervert in there. The Jamaica Constable Force has some pervert in there working. How on earth can you go to this lady's house? Tell her about you don't have to have no warrant. Jamaicans, I'm saying it to you again, repeating myself tonight. Do not allow these people to come on your premises unless they have a search warrant. Jamaicans for Justice is speaking out tonight, and we're happy they're doing so. I also see wherein the MP for that area, Mr. Hilton, is speaking out too, and demanding that Rosalie get some justice for this. I'm happy that Michael Jackson came out. Jamaicans for Justice came out and speaking out again, speaking about it too. I am so happy. Let me find the audio clipping where her member of parliament I think he was speaking to the Gleaner about it, but he spoke about it, and I'm happy that she's getting somebody to stand up for her. I don't know her. I've never met the young lady before. I've never met her before. I've never spoken to her before. But I'm a type of person like this. Where I see injustice, I can't stand for it. I want you to listen to what MP, Member of Parliament for Western St. Andrew, Anthony Hilton, is calling for a full investigation into the incident involving popular TikTok Rosalie Hamilton. I want you to listen to what he said.
This is Anthony Hilton, Member of Parliament for West St. Andrew. I'm deeply disturbed by the recent violation of my constituent, Ms. Rosalie Hamilton. The video recording and posting of her in a state of undress following a police operation at her home is not only a gross invasion of privacy, but a serious breach of the Cybercrimes Act. If this was done by the police, as alleged, it represents a new law in policing, one that must never be tolerated by the leadership of the Jamaica Constabulary Force or by society at large. I condemn this deplorable act, and I am demanding a full and transparent investigation into this incident, with swift action taken against those responsible. No citizen should be subjected to this kind of abuse and humiliation. I will continue to stand by Ms. Hamilton to ensure her well-being and mental health as she navigates this distressing ordeal. Jamaica, we must not allow this to become the norm. We must demand better. Thank you.
Member of Parliament for Western St. Andrew, Anthony Hilton. He is calling for a full investigation into the incident involving popular TikTok influencer Rosalie Hamilton. Miss Hamilton was at home sleeping when the perverts of the Jamaica Constabulary Force, you have some good people and some bad people, and some pervert inside here. The perverts of the Jamaica Constabulary Force tell she and her boyfriend that they need no warrant for coming to the house. And a pervert was there, videoing her. They opened the door and there was videoing her. And put it out on social media. You're a pervert. And you should be banned from working at the Jamaica Constabulary Force. I don't care if somebody who I know. You should be banned. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Make We Talk YouTube channel. At 7 o'clock, we're going to have our special guest, Mr. Isat Buchanan. He is the future member of Parliament, MP caretaker for Eastern Portland. He will be our special guest this evening. But we're speaking about what happened to Rosalie Hamilton. Wherein the JCF believe, a member of the JCF believe, that it's okay for him to go around and video people naked. You're a pervert. You should be put on a sex register list. You're a pervert. You're a disgrace to the uniform you wear. You're a pervert. How dare you go into somebody's house, lie to the Jamaican citizen? And that is why I keep on telling Jamaicans that you must know your rights. Know your rights. They cannot enter your premises unless they have a search warrant. I want to say good evening to my auntie. Auntie, good evening to you. Thanks for coming on. Lady Joy Reynolds, good evening to you. You must know your rights. The hell can you enter a person's premises? Huh? Enter a person's premises without any search warrant and you start video her? You're a pervert. You're a disgrace to the uniform you wear. But of course, the JCF pick up any fly by night, pitch by day somebody. The JCF pick up some fly by night, pitch by day people who going around stopping the Jamaican citizens, giving them tickets. And they're a disgrace to the uniform they're wearing. Well, let's see if Dr. Kevin Blake, who is the Commissioner of Police, we're waiting on you to do something. And as what Jamaicans for Justice said, that you need to give an update. You need to give an update. And we're waiting on an update from you. You all heard what Mr. Hilton said, MP, and MP Hilton is also an attorney at law. So I'm pretty much sure he can advise Rosalie Hamilton what to do and what not to do. But my advice to her tonight, desist from speaking about it. Don't go anymore and speak about it. Get your lawyer to act. And you keep your mouth shut. Says nothing to no one. Because some of them around you is not with you. Some of them who's around you is not with you. Because some of them who see the video say, yeah, send it out. Some people have around them a bunch of hypocrites, Rosalie. Anyway, let me not get into that. I want to play back the audio clipping from Jamaicans for Justice for those who are just joining us. Let's play it back and then we switch over to what former Prime Minister of Jamaica, Mr. Percival James Noel Patterson, is criticizing the whole administration. Let's listen to what Jamaicans for Justice said about Rosalie Hamilton.
West Central St. Catherine, the
Hold on. Wrong one.
former Prime Minister PJ
Come on, JT. Wrong one. Here we go.
Human rights lobby group Jamaicans for Justice JFJ is condemning the illegal recording of TikTok personality June Rosalie Dixon during a police operation at her home on Saturday. The video, which began circulating online, shows Ms. Dixon naked. It's suspected that she was videotaped by one of the police carrying out.
Hold on there. Nationwide, so her name is Dixon. The Gleaner, so her name is Hamilton. Which one is the correct one? Anyway, listen to this.
The operation. Executive Director of JFJ, Michael Jackson, says such recordings are in breach of the protocols that govern the Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF.
The allegations are that there was a recording of her without her clothes on. And you ask yourself the question, why did that recording happen in the first place? And how did it make it on social media? The police ought not to be involved in illegal recording of any citizen of Jamaica. You have several constitutional rights that must be considered. You have the right not to self-incriminate, so no police officer should be forcing you to issue any word of apology. You have a constitutional right to privacy, and that must be respected. And anything else to the contrary is a breach of the Constitution and a breach of the protocols that govern our police officers. It is outrageous, and I think we must all condemn such action.
The JCF has launched an investigation into the matter. It says the probe is being conducted by the Criminal Investigation Branch and the Inspectorate and Professional Oversight Bureau to determine the facts surrounding the incident. Ms. Jackson is demanding strong disciplinary actions against any JCF member found guilty of the act.
We have taken note that the Jamaica Constabulary Force is investigating the matter, but I take it a step further. We must demand an update of the outcome of that investigation, because while we welcome the announcement of the investigation, we must also hold the JCF to the fire to say that the public ought to be made aware of the outcome and the disciplinary actions that may be taken against any officer who was involved in that particular incident. Michael.
That's Michael Jackson. She is the Director for Jamaicans for Justice, speaking about Rosalie Dixon. I think her correct name is Dixon, not Hamilton, you know. Speaking about what those perverts that the Minister of National Insecurity having the JCF going around breaking into people's houses and telling them they don't have to have any warrant. Oh Lord, is that so walking in divine purpose? Well, those are the people that Dr. Harris Chang has in the JCF. Serve and protect the nation of Jamaica. In any other modern democracy, that JCF personnel is found long time and take off duty. But only in Jamaica, because the little dirty foot trousers boy and the little dirty foot gal no mean nothing to them. Don't mean anything to them. I want you to go to something else now. The former Prime Minister of Jamaica, the most Honorable Percival James Noel Patterson. Many of us remember the 1990s, wherein today Mr. Patterson, or yesterday I think, or it was on Saturday, yes, he was at a forum in St. James and he went into the belly of the Labour Party and criticized them. He went into the belly of the Labour Party and he criticized them. I don't know why I didn't label these things, you know, but I'll figure out if it's this one.
Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson.
Yeah, so I want you to listen to what the former Prime Minister of Jamaica has to say. He spoke about the road. He spoke about the constitution of this country. It's on my YouTube channel. You can go back and watch it. Mr. Patterson went on to say that Jamaicans must not be die-hearted. There must be die-hearted Jamaicans, not die-hearted labor rights or comrades. That's the voice of, if you don't believe me, go to my YouTube channel and listen to everything that the former Prime Minister had to say at that forum. I want you to listen to this news clip in here, where the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, digging the belly of the Labour Party. Listen to what he said.
Has offered a scathing. Former Prime Minister P.J. Patterson has offered a scathing assessment of the Holness administration's stewardship of the country's affairs. Patterson slammed the government's management of the island's road network, health system, and what he described as the alarming levels of poverty in the country. It's some of the most strident comments against a sitting administration from the former Prime Minister since he retired in 2006.
Percival Noel James Patterson was Jamaica's longest-serving Prime Minister. He served from 1992 to 2006. He's also the country's most successful political leader, winning an unprecedented 3 terms in government. With a general election looming, the former Prime Minister has decided to wade into the political arena.
I've been called from the pavilion, and I'm pleased to become as an opening batsman to the series, which is going to be held in Region 6.
By his assessment, Prime Minister Andrew Holness and his cabinet have done a poor job on several fronts. He started with the state of the nation's roads.
Not even before the days of asphalt, when it was Rockstone Road, have I seen the roads in Jamaica in such a state of dilapidation and disrepair.
The Holness government has defended its stewardship of the road network, pointing to the more than $45 billion in road repairs under the Reach Spark programs. Patterson next turned his attention to healthcare. The former Prime Minister says the sector is bordering on complete failure. He took particular aim at the delays at the Cornwall Regional Hospital.
Starting with 1.2 billion, and it is now 21.5 billion and mounting, and the hospital is still incomplete.
Yeah.
Nowhere else in the world but Jamaica could you have a project like that and not even one head rule.
The former Prime Minister is correct, you know. We'll go back to some more of it. The former Prime Minister is correct. No other modern democracy can $20-something billion is being spent on a hospital, and another hospital can't finish, and no head is being rolled. But they have people within the belly of the Labour Party who are project managers and all sorts of managers. Huh? While taxpayers' money spiraling out of control. This is what is going on in this country. It begs to ask the question, will we ever get any accountability of the $3 trillion in accountable for? Will we ever hear anything about the $3 trillion? Will we ever get the true figure of the money that is being spent at the Cornwall Regional Hospital? Those are the questions we're going to ask ourselves. It's now 7 o'clock. We're waiting on the arrival of our good friend, Sir Isat Buchanan. He is an attorney at law, human rights attorney at law. He is the People's National Party MP caretaker for Eastern Portland. He'll be our special guest tonight. Also, head boy coming on with us. Let's continue to listen to what Mr. Patterson said.
Former Prime Minister says the Holness administration's boasts of prosperity ring hollow.
Despite all the boast about prosperity, and despite the economic indices, there are too many families which simply cannot make ends meet.
Yeah.
There is a recent report that shows hunger and malnutrition in Jamaica are at an alarming levels.
Yeah.
Among the economic indices the former Prime Minister references are the lowest unemployment rate in history and the longest period of no new taxes being levied by an administration. Data available from the PIOJ indicate the highest poverty levels recorded in the last 3 decades were under the Patterson administration, when it stood at 21.6% in 1996. Patterson says the time has come for a new direction in the country.
We have to change course. We are moving in the wrong direction. The moral order is under siege and the social order in decay. We have to come to the rescue of Jamaica, land we love. Time to restore the precepts of transparency and accountability.
Former Prime Minister, the most honorable person, James Patterson, speaking today, or not today, speaking some time ago in Montego Bay. Head boy, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear. Welcome to Head Boy to the Make We Talk program. Head boy, welcome, my friend.
Thank you very much, brother. Thank you.
Your views on what PJ Patterson is saying. You heard it?
Yeah, man, I heard the views. In fact, you played most of his speech last week, I believe.
Yes.
Let me quickly say good night to your listeners and viewers all over the world. If it's good evening in some places, you are good morning in some places. But let me greet them well. Um, PJ, the most honorable PJ Patterson, anything that the ordinary Jamaican is not saying. It might sound a little bit different because it's coming from a former prime minister. You see what I'm saying, Jeffrey? But the truth be told is he's actually saying exactly, or his sentiments is the sentiments of all ordinary Jamaicans. When he spoke of the road, he spoke of the conditions of the healthcare. Yes, these are the sentiments, and even the so-called prosperity. This is the sentiments of the ordinary Jamaican. So if you go up to Miss Pam in Moko, or you go over to Mr. Tutu up in Fellowship in Portland, or
Yes.
Mr. Joe in Jessica, he will say the same thing. These are the sentiments of what ordinary people in Jamaica are experiencing. And no sugarcoat from Idiot Amin. I mean, Marlon Morgan could change that. No sentiments could change that. No spin, turn, and wheeling and bob and weaving could change that.
You know, when you listen to the former prime minister speak about the health sector head boy, $22 billion spent and no head has been rolled. You're taking that. Head boy? He may have had
No,
a call.
no, I'm hearing
Go ahead.
you. I'm hearing you. 22 billion spent, and we are nowhere closer to the completion of Cornwall Regional. Let it
Head
sink in,
boy, continue for me. Hold on for me. Head boy, just continue for me. Give me about a couple minutes. Just continue for me about a minute or so. I'll have to pick up
No
something
problem.
here.
No, I'm saying this $22 billion must sink in, that this cost for over 9 years. They have been doing they have been doing this development at Cornwall Regional, right? And we are nowhere closer to the completion of it. Mark you, there's also an arrangement with the Chinese for a children's hospital. We are nowhere near where that completion is. So it begs us the question, who is this Minister of Health? And is the Minister of Health qualified to be the Minister of Health? Because all we're seeing is just smoke screens telling them how we are developing, we're spending more on healthcare than we've ever spent in the history of a country in Jamaica. But there is no clear cut way as to seeing the development. So we need to have a sense of accountability where the Cornwall Regional Project is concerned. Mark you, the same is similar funds are being spent in Spanish Town, but the rain just fall the other day and the place down the flood out. And I'm referring to Spanish Town Hospital. So there is some sense in the wider part of Jamaica that the incompetence of this administration is what is leading to some of the challenges we are now seeing in healthcare. Remember, it's not we say so, it's them say them spending more on healthcare, but we're getting less from the health services that they claim to be spending more on. So something is not adding up, and we want a real answers in terms of the healthcare. I'll go a little bit further to say that in the upcoming administration, because I gone past who going to be in the next administration, I know the momentum is with the People's National Party, that there must be an audit. If no ministry is audited in Jamaica, the Ministry of Health must be audited. It must be given a thorough auditing from not internal auditors from Jamaica, but outside auditors, and the taxpayers of Jamaica will be willing to have that audit, and the buck must stop where it stop, and there must be some sense of accountability. And I am saying, if man or woman, boy or girl, if you go prison, let them go prison, because the taxpayers' dollars in Jamaica has been quite frankly, in my opinion, have been siphoned off. There is no account. How can a project move from 4 billion to then 9 billion, then 11 to then 22 with no sense of accountability? And we need you're back, Jeffrey. We need to have a sense of accountability. You're muted. We need to have a sense of accountability on this Cornwall Regional, but the wider Ministry of Health, because it is one of the ministries that was fingered in the report of the Auditor General, which them have Idiot Amin now coming out to saying that the funds are. What is the difference between unaccounted and missing?
Ask the genius at the Jamaica Labour Party press conference.
No, if it is that no, and let me, I have been fair in my assessment. It does not necessarily mean the funds are missing, and I want to say that because I will never speak in a way in which I have to take it back. However, if funds are not properly accounted for, it points to a wider problem, Jeffrey, of accountability. So where are
Yes.
those funds? Why you have a permanent secretary who has sat in that ministry for almost 6 years? For 6 years, he's the chief accounting officer, yeah, of the ministry, and he's failing to table those reports. The missing of funds the unaccounted funds goes back as far as 2016, yeah, and most of it occurred under the 9 years that Tufton has presided as minister. The
There
Ministry
has
of
to be
Health is
a
being
level.
used. The ministry,
Go
quickly,
ahead. Go
Jeffrey,
ahead.
the Ministry of Health is being used. It seems as if it is somebody's personal bank account. It seems as if it is somebody's personal bank account. And for me, there's two things I don't play politics with. I don't play politics with health, and I don't play politics with national security. Yeah? Because all of us must have it's a constitutional right. You must have access to health services, and you must have access to a national police service that caters to your rights.
And
So I don't play
and the
politics with
National
those
Police
things.
Service must under no circumstances infringe on your fundamental human rights either.
No, that was my segue to what you said earlier on about the TikToker.
Yes.
Yeah? By the way, it is a big thing where I am, Jeffrey. It's big over here in the wider
Yes.
Caribbean, because people cannot fathom that the police would enter into somebody's residence, a woman at that, all right? And I see some people on social media building videos on them and laughing. There's nothing in this to laugh about.
Nothing whatsoever.
First of all, you embarrassed the woman in that way. And when she was heading in, if you heard the comments from them, right? If you heard the comments from the police officers, alleged police officers,
Mhm.
because I don't understand to this day, how could masked policemen enter into a woman's residence?
Hmm.
You're not on a special operation. You don't have a warrant to enter the woman's residence, but you're going to go into her residence in that manner and expose her,
Hmm.
and then I ask her boyfriend, "Is you name what you name?"
Mhm. Hmm.
No, man. It is crazy, and it is disgusting, and I don't know if it is because they got the mandate from the prime minister, which says that some people must either meet the judge or the maker. Huh?
Hmm.
Why they're operating in this manner. There's a wider discussion that we can have around this. Have you seen the increase in police deaths?
You know, I when I heard the Prime Minister utter the words that he uttered, I asked myself the question, I wonder if this Prime Minister know what he's doing. You know, a lot of people don't understand when the Prime Minister says, either you meet a judge or you make a. So he's saying that Jamaicans who live overseas who may have done something wrong, don't bother come over here. Come believe, say no mash up what them start. What them doing over here. What sort of good are they doing? When this Minister of National Security presided over 1,130 something Jamaicans murdered in 2024. And it's 50 something Jamaicans murdered since the start of this year and climbing. I don't understand what is going on.
Yeah, but you know how much has been the account for the police and the part of the
No.
police? 35 deaths so far have been 35 deaths have been attributed to the police.
My God.
And I'm saying, and this is my, I have the greatest regard for Jamaicans for justice. I have the greatest regard for the civil groups that typically.
Yes, sorry to cut your head, boy. I have with me Dr. Dunkley. Can we see your face, sir?
Good
There you
evening
go.
to
I
you,
have
sir.
with me clinical psychiatrist Dr. Dunkley, Bishop Dunkley. He's a bishop in the church and he's also a clinical psychiatrist. Dr. Dunkley, you're speaking about the young lady who the police they videoed her and put it on social media. From
Mm.
your clinical point of view as a psychiatrist, what should what's gonna go on with her, I should say?
I just let me make a correction. Psychologist.
Yes, psychologist, yes.
Yes, I'm not a medical doctor who becomes a psychologist. I am a PhD holder, which is a psychologist.
Yes.
Two things I'm going to touch on that. But good evening to you, Minister. It's always a pleasure to sit and listen.
But hold on, no, you Lord of mercy gone. You they call me minister now.
I'm grateful.
Dr. Donkey, you're going in and out.
Jeff's the minister's name.
You're going in and out.
No, I'm saying, what's the minister's name? I forgot his
Oh,
name.
no, it's head boy. Which minister are you talking about? The minister that the young lady went through?
No. Oh, I thought that was a minister on the other line, on the
No,
other view.
no, it's
Okay.
head boy. One of my good friend on my platform here.
Okay, head boy. Oh, that's a name.
Thank you very much, Bishop, for prophesying it. Thank you. I received the prophecy.
But Jeffrey, it is. I saw the video circulating, but I was thinking to myself, because people use Photoshop and they do all kind of stuff, and it was like, I'm not even sure who that was, because I don't know Rosalie until it started to circulate. This is really, this is unethical. And I heard head boy mention that you have people who are reposting it and they're laughing about the situation. Now, number one, we can say Jamaica not under no rule nor no regime, no rule at all, Jeffrey. And it's not something that is hiding, but there's no such rule in Jamaica, because for a police officer to go into somebody's house with their personal phone to do such thing, this is a breach of privacy, because you entered somebody's house. Now, how, on my standpoint though, how do you expect this young lady to feel about herself? How is it that her mental state, how is it that she's functioning now? What is gonna happen in this? What if it was somebody that is of um have a gang bang family and decide that, listen, we're gonna just take it out, just do some really serious things? Then it will happen, because her state of mind now is, and not only that, her state of mind is, she's wondering now, where is justice in Jamaica to take this up in hand. Because trust me now, I could tell you, the chief of police, I'm not sure if they're chief or whatever they are there, if they took this up and openly have a discussion about it on air or publicly. I don't think that this has been resolved or has been spoken of widely. I don't know if Andrew Holness has spoke about this situation. I'm not sure that Babs Grange or nobody of that arena has spoken about the situation. As you said, Jeffrey, she's not from Red Hills or wherever the Tapaнаris
The people of the
community.
Vumva and the Vumva V.
All right, I was about to hit that. But she's not from those areas, so nobody really cares. And it's not supposed to be that way. Her mental state now, she's supposed to be going through a counseling session right now. She should be going through the government of Jamaica should make sure that she goes into a counseling session for her peace of mind. And these police officers should be taken off a front line and be in prison for the privacy act that they had committed, the privacy breach that they have committed. And not only that, they had disregard the constitutional right, and not just the constitutional right, but they have disregard the code of conduct in the police department in Jamaica.
You know, Dr. Dunkley, it begs to ask the question though. You touch on some vital points, and I will get Headboard to come on in and comment on that. You touch on some vital points that the JCF should, or the government of Jamaica, should make sure that Rosalie get some psychiatric help.
Oh,
You have been saying
definitely.
this on this program for many years, that Jamaicans need to get some psychiatric help when it comes down to locking down them during the virus.
The pandemic for years. And not only that, let me touch on Dr. Tufton. For years, I said this to you, Jeffrey, that Dr. Tufton is not a medical doctor, so he's not fit to be a minister of health. Dr. Tufton is a philosopher, just like myself. Just that he might study I think he does
He studied,
account,
right, he studied business.
finance, a business. Yeah, I think he has a doctorate in business finance. No, I have a doctorate in psychology that I study about the brain, the function of the brain, the acting, the movements, you name it. Dr. Tufton study about money. How is a man that studies about money knows anything about medical procedures and medical products and medical arenas and things to do in that field? That's why it is that it's always gonna be dormant. And flat when the disease, when the pandemic, Jeffrey, remember we had this conversation
Yes.
that the people of Jamaica need psychologists and psychiatric attention because of the lockdown and everything that is going on, and how the Prime Minister and Dr. Tufton just comes out and just blurts it out. Oh, pandemic, and you need to lock in your house. Stay away from this, stay away from... Nothing was being explained to the people of Jamaica. And so Jamaican people were panicked into the pandemic. And so is listen, Jeffrey, I went to the Black River Hospital and I could not stay in there for 5 minutes. The stench that is coming from there, and in where the nursing station is, my cousin was in there for 3 days sitting on a chair saying that they don't have no beds.
Mm.
And Dr. Tufton, who is the health, whatever he is in that arena, he sits there and he's trying to build up a hospital in Montego Bay, add on to Cornell region, when there are other hospitals that doesn't have beds or rooms for bed.
Hmm.
Uh-uh.
And
You know,
and hold on from Headboard, okay, come on now, Headboard. And I know, Dr. Dunkley, that you have reached out to the Homeless Administration on many occasions to offer your help, and nobody pay you any mind.
I sent letters, I sent email, and you know the funny thing about it? We're from the same area. He knows me very well and I knows him very well. And I've reminded him who I am. And I offered to do pro bono. All you had to do, just put me up somewhere for a month. Let me help to structure this thing. Let me help Jamaican people who are going through a mental issue. Right now, even the people in the House of Parliament are going through, because I sit there and I listen to some of them talk. Oh my God. Mentally
So
disturbed.
hold on.
We have some really sick people in the House of Parliament who are the way makers for Jamaican people, who are
Hold on.
sitting.
Hold on a minute, Dr. Douglas. You're saying to me that Jamaicans have some mentally sick people governing us?
I could point them out, but guess what? I said that for next time. We have been I have been witnessing some Jamaican people, and this is how I self-evaluate them, Jeffrey.
Yes.
By listening to their conversation. That is one of our tools. By listening and looking at your action, that's one of the psychological tools that we use to evaluate people. Now, I've seen the actions and I've heard the argument. How can you, Jeffrey, hold on. How can you be talking about the people of Jamaica, but then switched it into money and self-persona? That's mentally illness. You cannot hold a proper conversation talking about the Jamaican people and what you're going to do for the Jamaican people without you being put yourself in it. Oh, I have to. The moment the I starts to come in, that's an issue, Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm. Let me get head boy. Come on, head boy. You have something to say to Dr. Dunkley. Go ahead.
No, I am in total agreement with Dr. Dunkley. And let me say, Dr. Dunkley, like yourself, my undergrad studies was in fact in guidance and counseling with emphasis on
See
psychology.
it?
We have had a challenge in Jamaica for years. Professor Agri Irons,
Mm-hmm.
Professor Freddie Klin, they're two prominent professors, and even Dr. Wendell Abel, now professor, let me give him credit. They have been pointing out to a wider issue that we have had in the country in terms of the availability of psychological
Oh,
services.
God. For years I'm saying that. Go ahead.
Dr. Freddie Klin, in an assessment in 2013, 2014, said that there is in fact about 1/3 of Jamaicans in Jamaica are walking around undiagnosed with psychological
Oh, my.
problems. We could look at the DSM model. Whether they fall on the personality disorders or they fall on the mental disorder side.
Or
There,
artistic.
there, there are many aspects are artistic as
Mm-hmm.
well. So we have never really truly, and it's a Caribbean problem, by the way.
It is.
So I don't want us to be just hard on ourselves. It is a wider Caribbean problem where we don't seem to have emphasis on them on mental wealth, which is very important. You realize I didn't say mental health, but I said mental wealth because
Definitely.
there can be no wealth or health without your mental wellness.
Mm-hmm.
But to agree with your point quickly, Dr. Dunkley, where this case is concerned about this young lady, one, the amount of laws that were breached
Mm-hmm.
in this regard should have warranted a statement issued by the Jamaica Constabulary Force indicating who these police officers were, one, two, having them removed from frontline duty,
Yes.
and disciplinary procedures
Take
proceed.
place. Mm-hmm. And an apology needs to follow behind it publicly.
But if we have the Minister of Gender, Olivia Babsy Grange, who only can go over to Spanish Town and say, look here, calm on yourself. The Dan dead already, so calm down. She not see it fit to say to the Jamaican public that, we apologize to Rosalie and we're going to see if we
Mm-hmm.
can help her to get some psychiatric help. No, she don't see that. What she sees is to go over to Spanish Town and tell people Spanish Town, calm on yourself down, man. Because I don't afraid of no boy, no girl over here. I run things.
Mm-hmm.
My name Babsy.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So Dr. Dunkley, based on all of this now, Dr. Dunkley, I know you suggest that she should get psychiatric help, but where do we go from here as a society?
Um, Jeffrey, one of the thing is that I'm happy that I met Head Boy, so we can work together, because I have no problem in coming to Jamaica and we work together and see if we can find a building put up for these things. And well, we're not gonna get no more government funding from America, US, whatever, because Andrew had got 2 point something million to fund homosexually, whatever that part is. We're not going in there. We're not going there. But we have to find I'd have to find people who are willing to work and partner, because some of these things are just it just a mind blowing. Not to shift from what I'm saying, but I saw a lady on Facebook, on TikTok the other day, crying, saying that her daughter went to the Spanish Town Hospital, give birth, and the baby was born, but the daughter is dead. Nobody's there to offer support to that lady. I've seen other cases where kids die, mother crying, nobody's there to offer. There's no psychological or psychiatric help that was offered or given to these people. Now, the state of the country is in, I don't know what to call it, Jeffrey, but this, as for Rosalie, the government had to come out now and partner with her and said to her, listen, we are sorry. This should have never happened, even though the word should have is not a word that should have been used freely or fluently off our lips, because the Jamaica Constabulary Force, they know that they shouldn't, this is a breach. But the government needs to come out and say, Rosalie, we're sorry, Babsy Gray, and they need to find her some help where that is concerned, so that she can live a life. I'm not saying that it's gonna fix her. It's not a temporary. It's just gonna be a temporary fix. But at least she will see that the support, because giving support to an individual, that is the biggest psychological help one could always offer to anybody. We may use the word what's the word, empathy.
Mm-hmm.
When you empathize with somebody, that is the biggest help anyone could give to anybody. And I think that Babsy Green, um the police department, and also Andrew, the prime minister, needs to come out and speak on it and apologize to this young lady. However, Jeff, you know where to find me if she feels like she want to have a phone counseling session. It's, it's okay, from as long as you gave my number, it's fine with me. You just give me a heads up. I'll make dates, I'll make time, and I will see what I could do from where I am right now. And head boy also is able to help as a guidance counselor. He was able to help as well, and we can tie together and see what we can do to assist if it permits us.
Hold on for me. For those who are just joining us, we're awaiting the arrival of Mr. Isat Buchanan. He's our special guest. But in the same breath, we're here speaking about Rosalie, who was her fundamental rights was breached by the Jamaica Constabulary Force. We hear nothing from the hierarchy of the government of this country, because Rosalie is not a member of the people of the effluent society. Those of the Vumvavon, the Vumvaveen. Those who will lick champagne glass with Andrew and Auntie Babsy. And those who will, go to the wine and cheese party
Mm.
and chat all sort of damn nonsense.
Or the Puff Daddy party.
Yes. are those who will go to the Pocomania party and go jump
Mm.
Gary said, don't you jump a Zion. But
And
for
and
all of
and
us here,
I haven't heard the opposition either.
yes, her MP came out and spoke about it.
Okay, he's
Her,
MP.
yes, her MP is Anthony Hilton. He's he's also third Lord of mercy. Dr. Doug, don't bother with it.
I pray for you,
Don't bother with it.
but um,
Dr. Steve Dunkley is a psychiatrist,
psychologist.
psychologist rather, and you can look it up on Google. He's on Google for those who want to figure out who this man is. Not because he's beard up, say no. I don't know why I have so much beard on his face.
It,
His mother, his mother will be. His mother said this, his mother kill him.
yes, I'm trying to hide from Trump.
Just name and dying, prayer Lord Jesus. Why don't you behave yourself? But Dr. Dunkley, I want you to in a couple minutes that you have leave with us on the program because I know you don't have a long time with us, and I know maybe you have to go to one of those FLN Society meetings, you know.
Yes, yes, I'm going to Puff Daddy party. Yes.
But in the name of dying trail, no Jesus. I want you to tell us now the suggestions that you would give to the government if they should call you. What would you tell them to do, or what would you? How would you recommend yourself to them? How would you tell them to do?
First, let us write a proposal on how we're gonna approach the situation. Second, do an escalation of what needs to be done.
Mhm.
And thirdly, I would say let us act now because it's a critical moment for Rosalie right now. It's critical because all kind of things going through her head right now. And then we write a plan of action, how to approach counseling, and what do we need to identify and what do we need to, well, you say a psychologist, he removed things like a mechanic. He removed
Right.
things and replace and put in new things. How can we mechanically fix that which was broken and breached? It's like I said, some of these things are quick fix. It might help and it might not help, but with time it may heal that which was broken, or the trust that was broken from the Jamaica Constabulary Force for her, because right now she's not trusting police. She's not trusting a policeman nor a policewoman because of what took place. So I would say the plan of action, that would be the last thing that we recommend, and how we're gonna move forward in counseling, and how, what will help and what will not help. And I would say to the government, act now. Let her regain trust in the Jamaica Constabulary Force and in the members of the governmental body that is running the country now, or even the opposition as well. And not to use it as a political gain, but use it as a human error that was made and needs to be fixed in a way that she may able to regain her life and start doing back the things that she was doing to make in her well-being so that she will be okay.
And as you said before, you if Rosalie want to reach out to you, she can get in contact with me, and I can give the number of her to her for you.
I have no issue with that. No money intended, or no fame. And if she reach out to me, it's just between me, you, and whatever. We'll know. She don't have to
Mhm.
call my name. We don't have to, cause she's a TikToker. Then people would want to know. Oh,
Mhm.
yeah. No, I'm not into
Let me
that.
ask you this question though, Dr. Dunkley.
Mhm.
Would you advise her to continue talking about it on social media, or just let her lawyer deal with it?
The more information she gives is the more the situation got damaged.
Mhm.
So I would suggest silent would be the best policy about this situation. And I think that she removing herself from Facebook for a month or two would be the best thing to do right now, because now people are throwing shades, people are throwing dots, people are getting at her, and people are saying this, people are saying that. You know what I mean? So I think getting off Facebook, I mean, the media
TikTok.
right now, TikTok right now would have been, not that she is been defeated, but she need to regain consciousness, and that asylum thinking would not be suicidal to her, because some of these things that they're throwing is gonna be in a thought of a suicidal thought, or cause her to think different and all of that. So I think that the best thing to keep silent and get off TikTok for about 2 months or so. And if she have a lawyer, let the lawyer deal with it, and then move on with her life.
Wow, we're some serious situations in this country, Dr. Dunkley.
Yes, we do. And
And
if they
also
had, go ahead, sir.
Head boy?
and also to add, Bishop, yes, also to add, there is, let's see, Jeffrey, if we could set up some discussions, because I know for sure a part of the PNP's crime plan that is coming, the plan to fight crime, is going to involve the active use of social workers and psychologists in a lot of these communities that are troubled. I saw an incident in Spanish Town, and my political persuasion. It is said that Tarspen is totally aligned to the JLP, but nevertheless, every Jamaican is a
Mm-hmm.
Jamaican. For me, I don't see politics; I see
True.
people. And one of the things that hurt me in the Tarspen situation, it is alleged that this guy, who they say is the Don, was killed by the police. However, these guys were having a wake, which is a traditional expression, Jamaican expression, which we inherited from our African
Mm-hmm.
society. And the police saw it fit to go to the wake of
Mm-hmm.
mourners and interrupt the wake and lock it off. When there was, for example, I could tell you, and Jeffrey, no shooting incident could happen at that wake in Tarspen,
None.
because nobody would go over there to shoot it up. It was killed by the police. There's an issue that I have, that I'm seeing happening in Jamaica, where the police officers, and for the last 9 years, the police has been taking it upon themselves to go into situation where people are mourning, and that the stages of grieving, the steps of grieving, and the acceptance, denial, all of those
Definitely.
steps, and you go into a situation and you go into a situation like this, and you are now interrupting the people's mourning. It is wrong. I can understand if you believe that gang violence was involved, but in scenarios where people are killed by the police, allow their family members to mourn.
Definitely.
Allow them
I
to
tell you
mourn.
something,
And if there's no security information to say otherwise, stop making it up. Jeffrey, I am speaking from personal experience. A cousin of mine was killed, just was stabbed, was not involved in any gang, and the police refused. The police gave us hell when we were hosting the young man's wake. And it, to this day, I am telling you, I have not forgotten what the police have done. As much as I have certain tools available to me, you still mourn. You still have not accepted the way in which the police treated this young man. And he was a part of the
I tell
police
you
youth
something,
club.
Head boy and Dr. Dunkley. I want to say good night to our my mentor, former Jamaican ambassador to the United Kingdom, Ambassador Luma Samba. Ambassador, I know you're watching me. Good night, and I hope you're feeling better. We're waiting the arrival of Mr. Isat Buchanan. Hopefully, he still comes on. He promised me he'll come on. But I tell you something, Head boy and Dr. Dunkley. I think the police force in this country has no regard or no respect for the Jamaican people, the common man in the streets in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
Because they see them as how the government see them. They live down a crossroads, so who are they?
Mm-hmm.
So they can kick open your door and do whatever they want to do. But they dare not go up to Narberca or Upper St. Andrew to do these things. And the Jamaican people sit by and accept all of this. Says nothing about it.
Mm.
You believe it in some other modern democracy. You believe this nonsense could continue, Dr. Dunkley?
No, and it would not permit.
So why
Would
do we
not.
allow this thing in this country?
Jamaicans on a whole, they don't know what it is to protest. And protesting in Jamaica, then the police take offense to protesting. And so the government does not allow protesting. And so they send down the police to be that um monster at protesters, even peaceful protesters. And that's why Jamaica is still like this, because you have nobody coming out on the forefront like you, Jeffrey, who are speaking against these things. Because who is scared of who and who is afraid of who? Hello? I must say this also. Your mentor, Asuma Samba, what's her name?
Ambassador Samba.
Right. I met her once because good friend of mine, that I mentor, Mark William, was one of her bodyguard. So I met her a long time ago.
She's a very nice lady and somebody who, honestly, I look up to, man. She's one of the Jamaicans who represent this country well
Yes.
in London, and she speaks about the I'm not going to switch the conversation, but she speaks about reparation at a forum in London. And believe you me, when you listen to that, I'm not tired of listening to her at that forum at
Hmm.
all. But
Yes.
let us go back to the whole thing of Rosalie, the person on TikTok. You recommend Dr. Dunkley that she should get off of TikTok for about a month or so, deal with this
Yes.
issue.
Yes. And they need to seek counseling if it's not offered to her, to get her mental stability back in order. Because as is, like I said, she trusts no police. She trusts not the member of parliament. She trusts not the prime minister. Her trust
Mm.
state right now is in shambles. In
Wow.
other words, the Jamaica said laughing stock.
Yes.
And that's
Yes.
what it is. She become a laughing stock because of the JCF. And that is not right.
Yes. Dr. Dunkley, um, wow. Our nation is going down a slippery path and a slippery slope. Our people is in need of help mentally. Our people is in need of food in their belly.
Hmm.
Our people is in need of spiritual help.
Definitely.
This.
Jeffrey, if I may say something to what Head Boy had said, sir.
Mm.
Um, I am so in agreement with him. Um, that with he said that the doctor had made findings of study that he had put together, and I am 101% sure that most of these people are of the artistic um um background. They're artistic, 101%, because an artistic individual is able to function in a wider world and in a closed world.
Mm-hmm.
If it was a mental illness, then they would not be functionable. They would have to be on medication. But when you're artistic, you can function. Because an artistic person, it doesn't mean that I'm not talking about artistic Down syndrome. Artistic people who have Down syndrome, they look funny, they act a certain way, but you have artistic people who are high function artistic, and they can look that up. High function artistic people that are under the spectrum. You have a level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. And those are some
Absolutely,
of the people who
absolutely.
are and those are some of the people that are in the house, the Jamaica house, or wherever they sit and have this conversation. Sure. I shouldn't come on tonight, Jeffrey. I am in a frame of mind of,
Go ahead, man.
just
Go ahead
ready
and
to.
speak. Go ahead.
Yeah. So head boy, me and you both know that in the house we have artistic high function people who are the governing body of Jamaica, and that's why the country is like this.
Wow.
Let me tell you, let me help you, and let me engage your listeners to say that the goodly Doc is saying, what he's saying is absolutely true. Let's do a basic assessment of two sitting member of parliaments. And Jeffrey, no, I'm not afraid of nobody. Right? When you look at a man like Everald
I was just gonna say I
Oh
want me choose
God.
right?
one.
Oh God.
No, when on my, and I know, because you know how to do the model, Doc, you would be way more qualified than me to do the model because you're a clinical psychologist, which means you're able to practice and qualify.
Yes.
When you look at just the basic model, he spans not just on the mental disorder side, but on the personality disorder and also on the autism spectrum.
Yes.
So his radar, his levels is just going up. Yeah. When you look at, there was one in Western St. Mary called Mugabe, right? I won't call him right name. Jeffrey know what I'm talking, right? He was in the house saying the Integrity Commission is coming for him. That is paranoia.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Heights of
So
paranoia.
you have one now that is going around with narcissistic personality, and that is at the head. The Prime Minister demonstrates between him and Trump. I don't know who is more narcissistic, but he demonstrates every single thing is I have done, we have done, and he keeps on switching the blame in the Friday and even sometimes in his Friday and slip. You see him come up saying with the things that he says. So I am saying, remember when the Integrity Commission head went to Parliament, he said there's a possibility that there's a lot of crazy people here. He said it. You remember,
Yes,
Jeffrey?
when
He said it.
former Chief Justice Lindsay Wolf. No, Lindsay Wolf.
Yeah, he
Is
said
it
it.
Lindsay Wolf?
Lindsay Wolf said it. No, it's not Lindsay. What's his name?
Oh my God.
Yeah, wasn't it Wolf?
I think it was.
Or was it Dennis?
No, man, it's not Dennis, man. No.
No, I think it was Lindsay. I think it was
Yes,
Lindsay.
he said that.
But one of them said it
Yes,
just last year, you know.
he said that we should get in contact with he wants to get in contact with Senator Longmore, Sapphire Longmore,
To
to
help
help
some
some
of
of
them.
these people inside because he believes that they are mentally sick.
Right. There's one there that is truly clearly showing the signs of aging. Yeah. Dr. Dunkley drop off, but there's one that is clearly showing the sign of aging, and that he's not remembering anything. And it is Delroy Chuck.
Oh Lord.
The man seemingly is going senile, like geriatric age has caught him. But that's how it go. I mean, I don't age discriminate, but I'm saying that the signs are showing the man is
Yes.
delusional. Huh? Anyway, Jeffrey, I don't know if Dr. Dunkley would come
I
back
haven't
in,
seen him back
but
in
I
this
guess
yet, and
maybe he had to
I
run.
haven't seen Isat either. But we're gonna continue the program until I know Isaac gonna come on in. I know he's in Portland
Yes.
campaigning, so I know he's gonna.
Well, you know,
He's gonna come on in. We're gonna switch gear, and I just want people who may know Rosalie, if she need any help, it's not don't matter tell us say your boy you gone mad. Not go so. But when we go through trauma like these, we're gonna need some somebody to sit and talk to, and not just anybody. Let me go to Dr. Dunkley here. Not just anybody. Dr. Dunkley,
Yes, sir.
I want you like you're gone now. Like it's some midnight. Like you're gone. Anyway, I want you to wrap up your conversation here. Do you believe? And I know Head Boy said that there's some people in the parliament that needs that they show some sign of mental illness troubling them. You sure it's mental illness or maybe they take too much money, Jeffrey, baby self?
Well, whether it's taking too much money or whatever it is, it's a sign of mental uneasy. You could put it that way.
Mental what moneyism?
Yes, moneism. Yes.
Back foot. You heard that one before?
Don't worry about I wrote on that one. That's how I get my PhD.
Yes. But Dr. Dunkley, what would you say now to Rosalie other half? Her boyfriend, her baby father, and she have kids. What would you say to her kids?
Oh God. And that's where it still goes underneath what I said, that the government needs to find counseling for this family at this point, because it's at a critical stage right now as is. Worse, their kids that is involved. You could imagine the amount of tease and the amount of um discomfort. They go into school or on the street and say, "Oh, me see a mother naked. Oh, me see a mother upon this." And so the bottom line is counseling, counseling, counseling. Period, for the
Hmm.
entire family, and the government needs to put together that and make sure it happens.
And if they don't, I mean, we all know that maybe they don't do it. What do we do? How can we help her? I mean, I know you offer your service to assist, but you know, in all of that, how do we truly?
We continue to strike the iron as it hot, Jeffrey, because I realize that people in Jamaica, government in Jamaica don't move until the iron is hot. You strike it. And I think that's what you have to keep on doing. And Rosalie needs to do that as well. Strike it nonstop. Just keep striking it.
Mhm.
And I'm
Wow.
sure head boy can agree with me that people move more when pressure applies. The food in the pressure cooker cook when the pressure start to whistle.
Yes.
You understand?
Head boy.
And so I think that applying pressure to the government for counseling for this family is needed. It's necessary. And this is where Dr.
Absolutely.
Tufton needs to come in.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And this is where Dr. Tufton needs to come in now as a medical ambassador to put in his 2 senses and say, all right, then this is something that needs to be, you know, take up in hands and do. You know what I mean? And I believe that's what needs to be done.
I believe, though, Dr. Dunkley and head boy, that if Rosalie was up in Upper St. Andrew, you'd have heard the people of the high up of society in our country start speak out. You'd have heard the people, the names of the Vumvavon, the Vumvavi, the Tavareses, the Dunkleys, and all those people come out and talk already.
Of of course. I mean, if I was in Jamaica, I would probably on the clock. I will be on the clock. I think
Yes,
that's one
yes.
of the reasons God take me out of Jamaica, because of He knows that I would have been a Martin Luther King, a Malcolm X for his people, for the people.
Hmm.
And um but I think, like I said, oftentimes I told you I'm disappointed in Andrew. I'm disappointed Bob's Green, and I'm disappointed in all the politicians there in Jamaica who promise a better tomorrow, who promise the people that this is not going to be like this. This is going to be a change. Who promise the people that education will be this. Education is going to be fundamental. Education was going to be. Then when you come in, you're talking about. I understand that we need roads, we need highways, we need this, we need that. But come on, what what is it that is prioritized in Jamaica? The people should be the number one priority in Jamaica,
True.
and they're not.
And they will never be the priority
They're
for any
not.
government in this country. Dr.
Well,
Dunkley, we're
well.
going to switch gear to something
Thank
else
you.
now. So if you want to wrap up, you can wrap up and,
You're gonna.
you can stay with us same way if you want to.
Yeah, man. I'll just say, head boy, it's a pleasure meeting you on here, and to all the listeners, good evening to you, and just stay tuned, and continue holding on to Mr. Jeffrey. 'Cause I don't know the Vumva V and the Vumva Va.
You hear you?
Have a good evening, sir.
Have a good evening, my good friend, Dr.
All
Steve
right, sir.
Dunkley. Thank you for coming on. Thanks much. Head boy, we're going to switch gear to a little bit
All
of
the best.
politics.
All the best.
Head boy, you there?
Absolutely. ISAT is at a workers' meeting. I'm there. Can you hear me?
I'm hearing you. Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, man, I'm hearing you. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm
Right.
hearing
Workers' meeting.
you.
Right.
Ooh.
I'm told ISAT is at a workers' meeting, so it might be running a little bit late. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, no problem. So what we can do, we can continue with our chit chat. Let me see if I can get this thing up and show you what I really want to show you here. I hope this. Oh Lord, did I do this thing correctly? Yes, here it is. Are you seeing that?
And whilst you do that, let me say good night to those in the chat.
Go ahead.
You have quite
Go
an
ahead.
active chat here, Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
You have quite an active chat. So I want to say good night to those in the chat. And I want to thank you very much for the comments. I see persons like your moderator walking in divine purpose. And I see this gentleman Sam Allen referred to that the statement was made by the chairman of the IC, and that's why he walked with his own water, because he didn't want the mental disorder or the alleged mental disorder that's in the house to affect him. So I want to thank those in the chat. I see Christopher Campbell and others. I want to thank you, Brandon Webb. All of those are commenting in the chat. I just don't want to call out names and get myself in trouble.
Thanks very much, head boy. And I want to say
Right.
thanks.
But
I want to say thanks to my good friend Christopher Campbell for coming in too. And my moderator in the chat room there,
yeah,
lady walking in divine purpose.
divine.
Oh Lord.
Very active.
Yes, very active chat room tonight. Head boy, let's talk about the situation wherein the the Labour Party said that they're polling head in the head of the polls.
You know, there is poll and there is poll. I wonder if you get me. There is poll and there is poll. Right? It depends on which one of the ones the JLP is ahead of. Because I cannot understand how the GLP will now be coming with this poll to say that they are ahead, when in most of the parish councils, with the exception of a few, they have been wiped out.
Right.
Even if you didn't win the council, in most of those parishes, the PNP would have increased their seat count. So something is not adding up. If we remember the last Dan Anderson, and you brought on Dan Anderson here, who is a respectable pollster, whom, by the way, is well respected. I think the last time when he came on, I spoke to him to tell him how the people down here have a great respect for him. Yeah? So the truth be told is, one would have to wonder the methodology used by this poll and how it arrived here. Because when I read the article, which I do have here in front of me, so if you don't get it, there's no problem. I have it here on my
Yes,
device.
I have it here with me, and I'm trying to get it out the thing here, but for some unknown reason, it won't allow me to. Continue talking. We can try something else.
No problem. We can let the listeners know we're referring to an article yesterday in the Jamaica Observer, which said leaked internal poll shows JLP with almost 6% lead. And there's the article, right?
Yes.
But I am not going to there are aspects of it that when I read it, I said, as somebody who, not that I'm not political, what would I say? Not that I'm a political scientist, but I have had political experience for a long time. So I understand the inner workings of how polls are done. This poll, which was leaked on social media platforms and WhatsApp on Sunday, was reportedly conducted between January 6th and 14th of this year across all 63 constituencies and has a margin of error +3 or -+3. -3. So the margin of error of +3 or -3, which means that the results we're seeing now could be that the JLP is ahead by 3%.
So in other words,
That's one.
In other words, hold on for me. Remember, we're going to say, and just to let everybody know that Mr. Buchanan is in contact with me. He'll be on in 10 minutes. For though, in other words, what you're saying here on the thing that I have here, the poll thing that I have here, that the Jamaica Labour Party is leading the People's National Party 38.5%, and the PNP 32.7%, not sure 28.8%.
That's what the poll is saying. But let us be real, Jeffrey.
Yes.
This poll was conducted between January 6th and the 14th of this year. Right? It is said to have been done in 63 constituencies. Yeah? With a margin of error, 3 or plus or -3.
Right.
My issue with this poll, right? My issue with this poll, and I spoke today with Andre Stevens, and he did say to me on his program that his information was that they're saying this poll was a little bit different because it was done in 250, all of the divisions across Jamaica as well. So all the constituencies plus the division. Here the challenge I have with this poll. In January 6th of this year, you remember, poll is a snapshot in time. The JLP lost the November by-elections. Am I correct?
Yes.
They lost St. Thomas Eastern Moran Bay Division and they lost Indian Town Division, but they only won the ones that they had before, that the PMP did not contest. So they really they never win nothing. They had what they had because nobody run against them. How, between November and January of this year, what has changed to cause the JLP to surge ahead?
Is it that the Jamaica, the People's National Party, when they come out with people come out and say that damn nonsense about them, they take too long to answer?
No, Jeffrey, I am saying to you that this is a fake poll.
It is a fake
Let
poll.
me just be straight up. Let me be straight up with you. How could this poll, you are Westman, right? How could this pollster go into southwestern St. Elizabeth, where Miranda Wellington is running, where Floyd Green has been neglecting the people of southwest St. Elizabeth for such a long time, and get an answer which says, I am in full support of Andrew Holness, when the people of South St. Elizabeth, Southern St. Elizabeth, Southwest, Northwest, and Northeast are yet to get some of the support from the Beryl Fund? Let me go again.
Go ahead.
Let me go into my two stamping grounds, Clarendon and St. Mary. How could a pollster like this go into a place in North Central Clarendon where it's virtually a statistical dead heat in there and give the government 8-point advantage or a 6-point advantage? It is impossible. Let's go into Western St. Mary, where all the divisions in St. Mary, Jeffrey, have been taken over by the St. Mary municipal. Most of the divisions is now held by the PNP in the municipal corporation, including 3 from the chairman's constituency. How could they go into a Rockabessa and Boscobel and Port Maria and Anota Bay and poll this poll and get these results in poll? Lie them lie. In me Danny Buck vice.
Lie them lie.
Yeah? Yeah? The only poll the JLP is leading in is the poll of thieving and misappropriation. Yeah? They need to poll that. Because when you look at the issue of corruption, and I tell you, I am not surprised, Jeffrey, that this poll has come out now.
Yes.
And let me tell you why. They got wind that there might be an internal poll coming out from the PNP. Yes? Or there might be a national poll coming out. So they're trying to now discredit the possible polls that are coming to say, see it, but we did a poll across 63 constituencies in 240 divisions and it showed us this. No poll could have the GLP leading the PNP by 6 points when up to conference for the PNP in September last year, the PNP was leading the GLP for the first by 5 points. So I'm not even going to even. Robert Chin is a missing person in southern Manchester. Nobody has
Hold
seen
on
from
there,
him
head boy.
win.
Who conducted this poll? Was it conducted by a well-known reputable poster?
They didn't publish the name, and this is why it is confused. Let me tell you, let me just be real. I'm going to call out a spade a spade. The chief editor at the Jamaica Observer is the wife of Matthew Samuda.
Oh.
The chief editor at the Jamaica Observer is the wife of Matthew Samuda. I have seen, and let me tell you, I have had a very good relationship with the Jamaica Observer. I could send you have seen they have published a lot of things I've written.
Right.
Yeah? They've always published my things. But even when Danville Walker was leading the Jamaica Observer, it was not so political. I have never seen the Jamaica Observer so political from I've known the Jamaica Observer, Jeffrey.
Yes.
Right? So it is clear to me, that this Jamaica Observer is in fact now becoming similar to what is happening at Bradley Avenue. Yeah? So they have print media and they have mouthpiece media. Yeah? And they're trying to merge the two. Because look at how funny it is. The Blue Dot poll is supposed to be a poll that the Bradley Media House have. So if it was a leak poll, shouldn't it be leaked from Bradley Media? And not from the Jamaica Observer? Why would it be leaked to them? So when you see when them come and them do them nonsense, let me go again so the listeners hear what I just said. If this is a leak poll, the Blue Dot poll is controlled by the Bradley Media House. How could this leak poll come from the Bradley Media House from Jamaica Observer? The question I want to ask them a talk about poll, can they tell us, can they do a poll to say what Jamaicans think about Bolt getting back his money? By the way, I want to share with your listeners that they can go and watch the Fix program tonight because Bolt is going to speak with no bars hold to say exactly what happened to him money.
What time is he coming on?
I think the Fix, I need to double check what time the Fix starts, but it's when you get a chance, you can always go over there and you'll see what the Fix says. Now, Jeffrey, quickly, because I know Isat is going to come on shortly. If you have a poll like this you saw, remember the results is published to the person who pays for the poll before you.
Right.
Why you not call the election?
Hold on, man. Look, hold on. Let me play something here for you. Hold on. Let me play something here for you.
Call it, Andrew. Call it. And I, man, will sound the trumpet. Call it, Andrew. Call it. And I, man, will sound the trumpet. Call it, Andrew. Call it. And I, man, will sound the trumpet.
That is the voice of Jamaica's next Prime Minister, huh? Head boy.
Yes.
Yes. But knowing the Prime Minister.
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
But knowing the Prime Minister, though, head boy, if this poll was accurate, Andrew not come out. Andrew have a press conference long time, you know.
But not only that, I am saying to you what is going to happen, right? What is going to happen is that remember this week is when the table and the budget is coming in on Thursday.
Yes. And by the way, By the way,
So they're going,
hold on for a minute, boy. By the way, the Make We Talk program will be having live coverage of the opening of the Parliament of Jamaica this Thursday, starting at 9 o'clock. So we'll be having a live coverage.
right.
Go right. I want to check it. Go ahead for me, please.
No man, no problem with that. So she's going to lay the table of estimates. You remember the man say him now make no noise, him a make he said in the Northwest St. Andrew Northwest St. Catherine meeting with the man Crawford meeting
Right.
that him now make no noise with favor. Him a wait and him a leave her till the budget. Because I am foreseeing some serious issues in this budget. And you know the issues we are foreseeing. The USAID.
Yep.
Yes. The government has budgets typically are framed around two things. There's you come from grants, yes. You come from expenditures and all of that. But the grants is what makes up some of the bulk of the income for the government to deal with programs. Now, and I think Christopher Henry, when he was here, our learned friend, spoke about some of the implications that these grants will have on the impact of the budget.
True.
Because most of our social spending in Jamaica comes from donor funding. Yes?
There was a
So a lot.
there was a program on News Talk 93 FM that I rebroadcast today with my good friend Conrad O'Brien and
Conrad O'Brien.
yes,
Yes.
and Jamaica's well-known economist
Ralston
Hyman. And I would encourage everybody to go on the platform tonight and share that program there. The end of the program, I was speaking, but there was no sound. Forget about the end of the program. Listen to what Ralston Hyman and Conrad O'Brien had to say. Very interesting program. Go ahead for me, head boy.
Yes, and Ralston has been saying it. Ralston has been pointing out that this budget by the way, you know me can where you think Nigel run gone for? You think Nigel stupid? Nigel knew that there would have been some serious issues. He foresee some serious issues. I don't know if he foresee that the USAID funding would have cut. I don't think we could have seen so far. But he knew there would have been problems in the budget. Remember, right now we have midwives in Jamaica complaining of their treatment. They had a blackout day today.
And I don't think we see anything yet in the head boy. I think they're gonna be a mass demonstration across this country soon, you know.
Yeah, the workers are, let me tell you, the workers are restive. And you know, I must give credit to one of Jamaica's best ministers of labor, Horace Washington Daly. When Horace Daly went to the Ministry of Public, when Portia wanted the IMF agreement to be sorted out, remember that it was Peter Phillips and Horace Daly that was in the Ministry of Finance, you know, yeah? And the Honorable Minister that was able to so seamlessly negotiate amongst the workers. Because you see, the difference is, Jeffrey, with the style of the PNP, whether a man want like the PNP or don't like the PNP's approach has always been to consult. The PNP has never come from a position of take it or leave it. It has been, and it is these issues in the public sector that we're having now, that we're seeing why teachers are walking away, why the nurses are walking away, why police officers are leaving the country in droves, going to Tillal, former deputy assistant commissioner of police, Ghana Turks and Caicos Gangoton commissioner. So if we are seeing the conditions and the working front in Jamaica, the labor conditions are not in keeping with what most workers would like. And so therefore, we're seeing a significant labor relations issues that may arise come along the road. Remember him stuffed down, Nigel Clark forced down this salary adjustment on a lot of the workers and told them they would be better off. But they're not necessarily better off. Yeah? And he did it because he wanted to say he was the best minister of finance who was able to. So you're right, the man a balance the book, but him not balance somebody's life. And that is one of the fundamental problem PJ Patterson spoke of. He says, yes, you're talking about this prosperity, but on the micro level, macroeconomically, you're good. Meaning the country,
Right.
from a financial point of view, is functioning. We're paying our debt on time. We're ahead in paying the debt. Our debt to GDP ratio is coming down. But the challenge we have right now is that the average man, so the man down in a matches lane, out of East Kingston, like with friend East Kingston, yeah,
Oh, by the
they
way, your friend is in Port Royal just called to,
yes.
Man, she watching
they
us.
are not they are not feeling the impact of these programs, Jeffrey, and that is the fundamental problem. I am saying, with all the criticism I give to the JLP, yeah, with all the criticism I give, Portia, Peter Phillips and Horace Daly was who negotiated so ably that IMF agreement to reset the economy. What we have now is all of those gains, the suffering that the people took for the 4 years. Because remember, a lot of programs had to be cut. That's why the PNP lost the election, because people felt some of the austerity. But it was the austerity that was going to be the last time Jamaica had to suffer this. And look what we have now: a runaway train with man just a thief the gravy train, as we said, the gravy train. Yeah? So
Running
we
out
have
of
a serious implication. But I know you're going to bring on Isat because he
He's
did
not
say he
gonna say
would come
you can
on.
continue to talk.
Right. But I want to speak before he comes. Let me hit him in East Portland, because I am hearing some very good news from East Portland. And I won't necessarily cloud his thunder, but I hear the people out there speaking very highly of him, and he is really putting in the work. He's really putting in the work. The man make people go place where them never go before, Jeffrey. Yeah?
Yes.
The man make car stop at places that they never used to stop before. So it is clear to me that the people of East Portland have made up their mind. And come what may, that seat is going to be in the winning column. Same thing in Eastern St. Thomas. Same in Eastern St. Thomas. The people of Eastern St.
Yes.
Thomas has made up their mind. I tell you, there's an east wave coming in. When the PNP needs to go back to government, it always has to turn to St. Thomas, St. Mary, Westmoreland, and the faithful Portland. Yeah? Because
Yes.
always have to get one of them out there. And so I am looking, and also St. Ann. I am hearing
I
very
was
good
gonna say, I
news
was
from
just gonna
St.
say to
Ann.
you, I was just gonna say to you, I believe on election night that Isaac Buchanan taking home Portland, East Portland, Gabriella Morris taking home St. Ann. Is it St. Ann West?
St. Ann Northwest, yes.
St.
Northwest
Ann
St. Ann.
Northwest, right?
Mm-hmm.
The young lady by the name of Williams, Danishka
Danishka.
Williams. Yes, she's taking home St. Ann too. And I
There's gonna be an
believe,
upset. There's gonna be an upset in that seat, yes.
yes, and I believe that former Minister of National Security, former Minister of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade, former Senator KD Knight, Stacey Knight, is going to take home the Roy Truck seat.
I heard her with you the other night. I am a numbers man.
Yes,
I am saying, in this world, it's a seat that has never been. Remember, it was a seat that the PNP previously had.
I know.
Right? So the votes are there, with the exception of Grandspen, which has become an enclave for them. But Grandspen has been trending. If you look at the voter pattern in Grandspen has been trending from them. Yeah? So, because, obviously have some issues of neglect. and so forth. So I would not doubt Mrs. Knight's ability to retake the seat, because it's also one of
Not
the
Mrs.
seats
Knight,
that
Miss
comes up.
Knight.
Sorry, Miss Knight, sorry, because she's Katie's Knight daughter, sorry.
Yes.
I wouldn't doubt her ability to retake that seat, because it also has one of the lower voter turnouts in Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
So on the days who organize and organize and organize, I won't say much on that, because I won't want to give nothing to the JLP to run with, because them always a listen. But what I can say to you, I can speak with confidence that the two remaining seats in St. Mary will be coming back to the PNP. I can
I
tell you that.
as you talk about St. Mary Headboard, I want you to listen to something that the Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, said in St. Mary, I think it's over the weekend. This is it? I think this is it.
Human rights lobby group
No. Sorry. This is it.
West Central St. Catherine, the JLP's Dr. Christopher Tufton, is urging party supporters to be in a state of readiness as the campaign for the next general elections intensifies. Dr. Tufton was speaking at the Jamaica Labour Party's Area Council 2 meeting at Anoto Bay High School in St. Mary on Sunday.
This government since 2016 has done more to support the well-being of the Jamaican people than any other government in the last 20 years. And we must not be shy talking about it, because PNP people say, how can we go? They're going to say any and everything to undermine the government. They didn't show 5 months until the leader called it. We have to be bold. If you never used to call the calling board, then start calling now. If you never used to write letter to the cleaner, start writing now. If you never used to call on the politics manipulate, start talking now. It is time to show your problem and your intention, and that you are supporting the Jamaican Labour Party.
Dr. Christopher Tufton, Member of Parliament for West Central St. Catherine.
What is your views on? I wouldn't mind if the Labour Party people come over here and talk to me too. What do you think, head boy?
Let me tell you something. Tom drunk, but Tom no fool. When you are in a relationship with a woman, because that is the only thing I know, and you are in a relationship with a woman, and if you never used to take her out on dates, but the relationship gets so bad, they start, baby, where you want to go? Let me take you here. Let me take you there. Let me pay for this. Let me pay for that. It means the relationship gone sour. And if you listen to all of the meetings that the JLP has had, they are talking about making it up with the people. So how could you be in such, so we go back to the polls again, Jeffrey. How could you be in such commanding lead and you are worrying about making it up with the people? I want you to remember this, I said this a year ago on a program with you, that if that Andrew Holness is right now one of the what you call it now. I can't believe I lose a word, and I'm not short of word, but he's right now the downfall of the JLP. Andrew Holness was who brought the JLP and he's back in 2020,
Right. I think
Yeah?
I think the Prime Minister and the Minister of National Insecurity is the downfall of the Labour Party. And the saga with the Colonial Hospital.
Right? And that has, but remember, we have seen the same. We have seen the same in what has happened with Horace Chang. Internal in the party, there are party members writing to say they want to get rid of Chang. So there are a lot of internal issues within the JLP. And if I was like Marlon Morgan, I would go try and focus on fixing my internal issues instead of coming to try come spread propaganda and lies.
Head boy, continue talking.
Because
Sorry, head boy, continue talking to me. Just give me 2 minutes, please.
no problem. So it is obvious to me that the JLP machinery is not oiled. The JLP machinery is not brand new and crisp. And the brand new Clark Span foot strategy that they used in 2020 won't work So they have to be wheeling, dealing, and trying to come again. So it is obvious to me, it is obvious to me that some people think that they can fool all the people all the time. I see a question from Sam Allen asking me, what is your opinion on the EOJ? Ladies and gentlemen, I have been saying this for years, and I will stick to it. I am not comfortable with the EOJ being in the office of the Prime Minister. Now, please understand that the EOJ really and truly uh, sits should have its own oversight. It does not mean that the Prime Minister has the oversight over the EOJ, but it is in fact that, like previously, the EOJ, as it, I got a question, Jeffrey, from one of the listeners, so I'm responding to it.
Yes. Go ahead.
The listener asked me what is my opinion on the EOJ, and so I'm telling them that, I will not join in this song and dance about the effectiveness of the EOJ. I'll tell you, the EOJ, no matter how people have tried to penetrate it, is still very good at what it does.
And
You hear what I
and
said?
not only that, to head boy, I want, as I said to people, go back to this channel here. Listen to what former Jamaican Prime Minister PJ Patterson said about the EOJ and the political ombudsman in the office of the Prime Minister, especially the political ombudsman in the office of the EOJ. It should not happen.
It should not be there. No, those are the issues I have. And I am saying right now, so the ombudsman part I disagree with, and the EOJ sitting there, they should have their own independent autonomy, which they always had. No prime minister ever attempt to, even though yes, the EOJ was really kept it close arms to the prime minister in the sense that when they needed budgetary support, they would get their budgetary support, but they weren't kept in the office of the prime minister. Now, when Chuck, because it's Chuck, right? And and as KD Knight said, Chuck out of luck. Yeah? So Chuck out of luck, what he did was this: they pushed this agenda that you don't need the political ombudsman. But when there's an election, we have not had an election since 2002 where the political ombudsman, and even before that in the 90s, where the ombudsman has not been there. We have never had an election where the ombudsman has not been there. And I'm saying in this heated campaign, because obviously I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to say it's going to be a violent campaign, but there's going to be a lot of words that is going to sling. Yeah? And we have seen it, where Warmington has started with his attack on the color of Mark Golding and other things. We have seen it. Juliet Cuthbert, Flynn, and others. We have seen it, and across the board, things have been said. Where is the arbitrator in all of this?
Yes. Head
Where
boy,
is the arbitrator in all of this?
I see somebody writing in the chat room about the PNP voting to renew the Gagaga and the IC. Did the PNP vote for that?
No, I watched the proceedings, because I want to with me, I watched the proceedings. The proceedings were on. It was sometime this week. I believe it was last week. Sorry, some between Wednesday or Tuesday of last week. What it was in fact that the PNP insisted. So did Donna Scott Motley, and so did Julian Robinson. They insisted that the Integrity Commission be given more powers so that it can pursue an investigation and it can give update on the investigations. Delroy Chuck insisted at the meeting, him and Shireen Golden Campbell, yeah, who, by the way, I am thoroughly disappointed in you, Shireen. I can say that because your father is somebody who I've respected for many years, and I cannot believe you're allowing people to lead you down the political abyss. Because when I looked at the committee meeting, what was there was that they're still insisting that they don't want to remove the gag order.
So that
And that
means
you shouldn't publish that you investigate. before the investigation is done. They didn't sign off on it totally. The sections, remember now, they vote them out. You're at a committee stage.
Right.
They refuse the Jamaicans for Justice write to them saying that they would withdraw their legal action they had against them as well.
Mm-hmm.
And they were so they virtually voted the numbers. Remember, the opposition don't have the man. They had more members on the committee than the opposition.
So that,
But I don't know where this is going to go. Donna Scott Matley spoke to the possibility of challenging it.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with their interesting times ahead, she said this is the same nonsense with the constitutional reform that they're trying to do with the IC. They're just trying to force things down and not allowing people to have more input. Because there's been a timeline set by Shireen Golding Campbell for the end of February for submissions and for the wrapping up of this thing, which that is in regards to the Integrity Commission.
Mm-hmm.
So the person is right that the gag order was pushed, but the thing is that they still will be having more discussions before the sign off happens. And I think this is where it's going to get interesting because I'm looking for a legal challenge from the PNP on it.
Head boy.
I'm looking for, because the gag order don't help nobody, you know.
Right.
It don't help nobody. Because how would you know who is under investigation? So they could step away from the substantive post.
But when you look and let us go back to the. Hold on there. There's some news coming into us. Oh, when you look on the idea, I wonder who gave that idea for, because I remember Carl Samuda was against the whole idea of the public ombudsman in the electoral office, you know.
No, he would be against it. Because remember, yeah, let me tell you, regardless of what you want to say about Carl Samuda, yeah, Carl Samuda is a true gentleman. Yeah? No matter what you want to say about it. The problem is you have persons, remember who sits at the EOJ now as commissioner, you know?
Yes.
You have one. Oh, there's,
Hold on for me. I have with me our esteemed guest, a hard-working future member of parliament for East Portland, none other than the People's National Party caretaker, attorney at law, the People's Attorney, none other than our good friend, Mr. Isat Buchanan. Isaac, welcome to the program, sir.
Welcome. Thank you so much. Thank you. I
And no,
just I just finished a meeting, so I apologize for my lateness.
that's okay, man. I know you're very busy, and I understand. And I know the people in the chat room understand that you're very busy.
Yes.
Tell me the plans you have for Portland. And before you do that, why did you decide to enter politics?
I decided to enter politics because, as I said, Portland shows me there is a serious deficit in representation. More than anything, the Constitution is under attack, and I believe that it must be protected at all costs. If that is going to happen, it would mean that representation matters. As a human rights attorney, I'm very troubled that the most serial constitutional breaching government is trying to or attempting to undertake the transformation of Jamaica from being the subjects of the crown to a republic. And for those reasons, I have decided to offer myself as the MP candidate and the next member of parliament for Portland Eastern.
And Jamaica's future Minister of Justice.
Mind Delroy, hear you.
Tell me something, Isaac. What is your plans for East Portland? It's Portland.
You know, there is a technological gap, a deficit in terms of bringing education in the technology age. That is something that has to be fulfilled. I've already started that even before I am the MP. I have undertaken the task of ensuring that every child in Portland has a tablet. So education is so important, and as you know, there are persons who are in parliament that education is of no moment to them because of the way the representation of persons act, people's act is situated. As long as you are a citizen, you can offer yourself. But we are in an age where education matters. It is important that your representative encourage education and not encourage the youth to rub out them hand middle and stay destitute and be subject to vagrancy laws which still plague Jamaicans, which 96.1% of the population is black and make up the poverty stricken communities.
For
So
those who are,
that's just one aspect.
yeah,
If we don't educate, we cannot fight crime. Don't
indeed.
make extrajudicial killings is not a solution. It's not a crime fighting solution. It's murder. Whether murder by the JCF or murder by the bad man and murder by the gunman, it's still murder. Every life has value in Jamaica, and we must find ways to reduce the fact that we are a high crime society. In doing so, it means that we have to reignite what would have been a dead vision 2030 to ensure that we restore the education dream of Michael Manley, free tertiary education, educate quality education that makes the dumbest person in Jamaica be the brightest person in the United States. Certainly, that's how it was when I was growing up. The next thing that is important is that Portland Eastern is the first of many things. It was the first in tourism, and I have the full history as to why tourism was destroyed. And it was destroyed by a particular government, the same government that will no longer be the government after the next general election. Similarly,
You mean the prosperity government?
the posterity, are we talking about fake hand and fake foot? Are we talking about prostate issues that some of them clearly are facing? But anyway, I will say this. It is important to note, and I'm taking this opportunity by using your distinguished platform to let the Jamaican people know at large that if you want to remain in abject poverty, live below the humanity line, not the poverty line, but the humanitarian line, then you can continue to be deceived by the current government, which has admitted that they have not taken care of you for the last 9 years and is asking for an opportunity, another 5 years to enrich their families. So if you want to be a citizen where the prime minister's son can own all the land and then they can trick you and give you indigent homes that when you die you can't pass it on to the next generation, then that is a matter for you. But certainly I know that the Jamaicans who have pride and joy for themselves, especially the pride of the people of Portland Eastern, who have some of the biggest homes that even for myself, one day I probably live in a big house like the people of Portland Eastern. The only thing that they're lacking is roads, water, yeah, and just the upliftment of the parish in general, bringing back the economy to Portland Eastern is what I am here to do. We do that through bringing back tourism, bringing back the ships, and I'm not talking about the visiting ships that is planned where the Vavavoons bring their
Pronounce
friends.
pronounce the word correctly in the Isaac, man. It's
Viva
the
vous,
people of the Voom
voulez-vous
Vavon, the Voom
coucher
Vaveen.
avec moi? Huh?
The Voom Vavon, the Voom
The
Vaveen.
Vumva, all right, there you go. The Vumva Voms. The people from the upper echelons of society who decide that when a ship come in, they take the tourists to their friends and their attractions and leave the people of Portland and the craft market don't get any tourists. And the Reach Falls is not getting the recognition that it needs. And Reach Falls nicer than Duns River Falls. Do that and beat me.
You have we have with us on the platform here tonight my good friend Head Boy. Head Boy, I have a question for you, Isaac.
Sure.
All right. Good night, council.
Good night. How you doing?
Just very good. Just a quick question, because I'm quite familiar. I'm originally from Kingston, but lived in Western St. Mary.
Yes.
Yes, so I'm quite familiar with Eastern Portland, your constituency.
Yes.
What is your plan in terms of the case, the Caribbean School of Caribbean Agriculture School there? Because I seen that you're speaking on education. Do you have any plan to partner with Case, where Case could then become a real regional school for agriculture in East Portland? Do you have any plans around the further development of
I have a lot of plans for Case. What I am on a strict instructions to hold my plans because you have some thief that say we not no
Of course,
plan,
of
and
course.
so when them call it, and I'm inviting them to call it because there's a lot of mindless empty barrels on that side that
Hold
have
on there,
no.
Isaac. You want
Hold
to hear
on.
something? Hold
Yes.
on, I'm going to hear something here. Hold on.
Yes.
Call it Andrew, call it, and I man will sound the trumpet.
And I said, if you think you're bad, Mama B would say to Andrew, call it, because we shall win.
Call it Andrew, call it, and I man will sound. Call it Andrew.
Yes, Isaac.
There you go. So you see, that is it. So that is what you call synergy, because that's exactly what I'm saying. As soon as you call it, you will hear fulsome what my plans are. But as it is right now, where the empty barrels
No,
are
I
concerned,
am.
they are so desperate, head boy, and do not have
Mhm.
an information bank or even an iota of ideas to offer to the Jamaican people. That as when they call it, you will hear it. But I do have a vision for Case. And I can tell you, when we are finished,
Absolutely.
Case will be the mecca in when it comes to the region, and especially when we're gonna have conversations about food security and what we call adult recognition of experience in the field. But I won't say any more
Right.
than that because I don't want anybody, people who can barely. Anyway, blessings.
Now, also one further question. Now, you spoke to the infrastructure. Now,
Yes,
in 20, after the death of Linval Bloomfield, I
yes.
campaigned in East Portland, and I was actually in a place called Rural Hill, which is in Manchineel. I know you know Rural Hill, very faithful to the People's National
I'm
Party.
there right now. Right now.
Ah, very good place, very good people.
Well, I'm at Happy Grove
No,
School, but yeah, I'm
right, which is
past
just
there.
down the road.
Yes,
Which is just
right.
down the road. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I see there's a major one of the problem that the people, particularly in the fellowship area and in the other area there, that's one of the other divisions, have that
Yes.
Mr. Woods used to be the counselor for, that had previously died. They have a serious water problem. Yeah. No, I know you don't want to go further into explaining some of those issues, but I'm sure that you will be looking at some of those challenges, because some people been beating them chest out them love Portland, but for 4 years they have not been able to supply Portland with water, and Portland does not have a water issue.
No, but you're mistaken, HB. They are supplying them with water by selling it.
Oh, Lord.
Or did you not know that that was going on? So those who beat in them chests have water truck with them face on it, and they are selling the water to the people of Portland. One of the more this is one of the easiest solutions, because the starting point is, and speaking for Portland Eastern all across, is that the water that they turn off, we need to turn it on back. After that is turned on, and the population that used to have water is returned to them, then we start to talk about water solutions, because rivers and streams run through Portland. It is embarrassing to know that we have access to water issues. And
Isaac,
Wow.
yes.
let me ask
And
you
there
this
are
question.
places which because the source of the water is not coming from the NWC. they pay for the infrastructure at a mere $250, and they're paying the $250 for meters that water is not coming through because the water is turned off. There was a recent fire in an area where the water was locked off, and all the NWC had to do to ensure that water went to the fire hydrant is turn it on at the strategic points. So I'm going to speak to that, and they are free to say that that is not the case. But as long as there are water trucks driving around with their faces on it, and they're selling water, we need to have a different conversation about water. I'll go further to say, just recently under the JCIF program and JPS, the rural program, there was a strategic what you'd call targeted supply chain of electricity in terms of wiring the homes, and it had to go through the member of parliament's office. And a young lady, you can see it on TikTok, because she was committed to vote for the People's National Party. She was thrown off the bus, and her house removed from the list of persons of houses to be wired. So we
I beg your
can't
pardon.
yes, so we can't politicize that, because, and not only that, the misinformation put out to the public was that this was a free service, when we all know that the wiring it flows, that your electricity bill, you'll be charged for it. And so we mustn't politicize light, water, roads, infrastructure that is supposed to be a part of Maslow's laws of hierarchy, the physiological needs, food, clothes, shelter, and the shelter having all the amenities fitting of humanity. So that's my thought when it comes to people asking me about water and road. You cannot
Oh
campaign
Lord.
on road and water, because it is as of right known as the Spark program, and any other program that deals with road. After you have dismantled the road fund, dismantle all the facilities that would ensure that roads were properly maintained and drains put in, and you're putting down this band-aid type patching and call it road fixing. Context matters, because there's a difference between the two, and taxpayers' money must not go to waste in the manner that it is. As much as we like the asphalt being thrown in the holes that belong to the JLP,
You mean the carpet?
the carpet has escaped in nearby bushes with Nigel Clark all the way to the floors of the IMF.
Let me ask you this question though.
Sure.
As a young man yourself,
Hmm.
what plans do you have for the young people of Portland?
The
That we
young,
don't
let me,
see that we don't see our young boys digging out their hands,
no man.
and our young girls dancing go-go.
I want to explain something to you, and I'm saying this proudly at a time when Donald Trump would have decided to send home 5,000 plus Jamaicans. One, there has always been a flight on a Thursday, at
Yes,
least once a month, with persons who would have committed crimes and,
true.
and have been deported. It is nothing new. And I'm saying, as a young man who returned to Jamaica, and I'm saying return, but the right word, and don't tell nobody, is deported, right? Yes. So who was deported some years ago to Jamaica. Jamaica is a country where impossible is nothing. I became an attorney at law, educated at the University of the West Indies. My vision for the young people in Portland is to get the traditional professions, and government is to pay for it. When you identify young people who are bright, you must encourage them and put them into the position to be the doctors and the lawyers and the scientists and the engineers. And they can still be farmers, and they can still be electricians. I'm a personal trainer, a real estate agent, a trained musician, and a reggae artist. I am a TV personality, and I'm a YouTuber. And every now and then I tell people, tap up the screen and share the live, and I get my lions on TikTok. I am all those things. And I am now a MP candidate in Jamaica land we love as a son of Jamaica. Why would I want anything less for anybody's child? who have not gone through the mistakes that I have made. They should have free access to education to become doctors and lawyers, because some of the people that are behaving like the Vavavoons now, if it were not for Michael Manley's vision for education, they wouldn't be flying up them tail on Jamaican people. Right now, they are not second generation wealth. They're first generation. Your prime minister owed student loan, and I don't think him did pay for it. And Bolt still asking for him money. I see him on the fix. They never pay him back.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna head boy come on, but I want to ask you this question though.
sure.
There is so many things because I have to go on social media myself on this channel here
Yes.
defending you because I
Hmm.
didn't like what they were saying.
Yes.
There's a certain radio station in this country who held bend in the sense of bringing you down.
Hmm.
And if we should look in their closet, there's so many skeletons. But of course, you
Listen.
came out. Hold on for me. Of course, you came
Mhm.
out. You made it known that you did some stuff wrong. You pay your due. You came back into society, and you are now an attorney at law. My question to you tonight, Mr. Buchanan,
Mhm.
for all those naysayers who have said all sort of things about you, how do you feel about it? I know point blank, Isaac said Jeffrey, I don't feel in the way, but I'm just gonna ask you.
No, so I'm gonna start by this. Let us not forget, they have never once said to the Jamaican people, Isat Buchanan, the first Rasta man out of Jamaica to speak before the Privy Council. They never said that. Who in Jamaica can say anything about me and have never, even some of them 40 years at the bar, have never had the courage, the aptitude, the capacity to speak before the highest court in the land? Instead, what they say, we must remove ourselves from the Privy Council, or we don't need, we must have a local court. And there's many questions to ask, but I am proud of myself. My parents are proud of me. I said to my parents, I promise you one day, as the worst child in your family, I am going to be your best child and make you proud. And my father said to me that you would have done that. And my mother said, I am proud to be your mother. Who is Mama Cliff? Tell me, who? Who is Mama Cliff Hughes? Who is the other people who are, to in my mind, have never achieved the feat that I have achieved? Some of them would not have the aptitude to go to law school. I am not going to let any, you can say anything, but you will not take away the fact that I have achieved many things in defending the Constitution. I am the same attorney that stood before the local court with my colleagues and stop the serial calling of states of emergencies and breaching of constitutional rights. I am the Rastafarian who defended the young girl when they said she could not go to school because of lice and junjo. No matter how you feel about me, I am doing the Lord's work, and I'm respecting the Constitution, and I am doing that which I was called to do. I do not feel any way about my critics. This is not arrogance. This is what it looks like to be a proud black man, knowing that there will be detractors who will have to tear you down because a system designed by the Jamaica Labour Party to ensure that rehabilitation is not a part of their mandate. I do not fit that mold. And I am here to say to Jamaican people, whether you are poor, whether you are being deported, do not believe the Prime Minister when he says meet the judge or meet your maker and listen to threats while the JCF carries out extrajudicial killings. A young lady who is a TikToker was
I was
her
just gonna
right
ask you
to
about that.
privacy. She's my client, and
Thank God.
her right to privacy was breached, and the state must pay regardless of any investigation. The miscreant, the criminal that is in uniform, that is disgracing the honorable serving members of the JCF. And that's why context matters, because majority of the youth, female, male, that are part of the JCF is not of a criminal element. But that gang member that would have violated a young lady like that. That's why I am an attorney to defend her rights. And they won't sweep these kind of scandalous behavior under the rug. So they can say whatever they want of me. One thing they can't call me is a thief, a wicked, and they can spread lies on me that is not of that. But I sleep good at night because I do not wrong anybody, and I make sure that the God I serve can look down on me and continue to bless me. So that is what I will say to the naysayers. It's a bunch of hot air that don't have the aptitude to sit in a room with me. I'm
Head boy.
far, when it comes to education, far superior than the small thinking that they have.
Yes. Head boy.
Right,
Yes.
counsel. I know, from where I sit, and I know I don't expect you to say much internally about your structures
Mm-hmm.
in Portland because I wouldn't
Yes.
want that. But from where I sit, I know currently now you have only 2 out of the 5 divisions there. That's one held by
That's
Wayne
correct.
Mackenzie and the veteran council in Port
Yes.
Antonio. Um, the your path to victory, because I'm a
Yes.
numbers man, but I won't discuss the
Mm-hmm.
numbers. Your path to victory requires that you have some foothold in where you are now in Manchester, and it requires typically Manchester is a JLP stronghold
Mm-hmm.
from what
Mm-hmm.
we gather. Yeah, it requires a pathhold in
Yes.
fellowship, because fellowship historically supported the PNP for many years, but it has somewhat swayed when Benny White
Mm-hmm.
was there. The short question is how, without giving much details, how are you coming along in terms of the structures, your work? Because there was a lot of work that need to I'm certain, to bring back a lot of people who are not on board. Yeah.
Let me explain something to you. I wanted to go back to when they had what they perceived to be the best of the best, no matter what the political
Mm-hmm.
ideologies they are. And there was a reggae artist that they said was the worst of the worst and should die in prison. And they said he could not be freed, but I freed him. All right,
Of
I'm
course.
gonna say this. When it ISAT is will always be the factor that should be studied years from now. I have I have
Mm-hmm.
put my foot on the ground and I made the man from the West shiver. He said it, not me. I'm going to go as far as saying this. I am here now. So whatever it was, and I will say this publicly. Historically, they speak about
Mm-hmm.
Fairy Hill. I know you never mention it, but Fairy Hill is my place. It belongs to me now. I live there. I live
Absolutely.
there.
I'm
I commute there. I go to church there. The people are my people. So let's start there. So that's 3 of 5. Let's talk about fellowship. You see, me,
mm-hmm.
Isat Buchanan, is a maroon. You can't take that from me. You cannot walk the
Mm-hmm.
grounds that I walk. And you see that 1739 treaty where the white people did have to sign on. Try and remember, don't size up with me. Fellowship is mine. So fix the roads because I walk them, so you have to fix them. That is a message to whoever is trying to compete against me. Anywhere I go, when I leave, it has to be fixed because that is my impact. So when my campaign slogan is "We have the win," I have it already.
Head
So
boy,
I
everything else?
so
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
the rest of it will become apparent. I am here, and there is no concern. There is no there is nothing that can be said. All that has to be done. And I know Jeffrey's gonna he's gonna play it now. Call it.
Hold on,
So
man. Hold it
but
there.
play my party.
Call it Andrew, call it, and I man will sound the trumpet. And I said, if you think you're bad, Mama B would say to Andrew, call it, because we shall win. Call it Andrew, call it, and I man will sound.
Andrew, Carly, and Iman will sound the trumpet.
There you
Yes,
have it.
there you have it.
Uh, uh,
So
uh,
I
Absolutely.
just wanted to say because I did want to speak about February 22nd.
yes, but I'll allow you to do all of that, Mr. Buchanan. I
Mm-hmm.
want to find out something from you though. There's
Mm-hmm.
a bridge that collapsed in Portland. Is it a part of your constituency?
No, it's the husband have a maintenance issue. It's
Oh,
possible the wife will have to take him to court to pay maintenance.
talk about February then. Go ahead.
Okay. I think you can. Is we talking? Is you making we talk, or I must move on? Okay, let me move on.
Oh,
That's a
no, we can
maintenance
talk
issue
about it too.
right
We
there.
can talk about it too. Go ahead.
It's all right. Yeah, one would think it was London. All the bridges are falling down. But anyway, listen. The tablet drive. So I'm speaking to your viewers now. I am
Yes.
asking persons to go to Coda Network. The Coda Network. It is an app, but Coda Network. And you can go to codatv.com or codanetwork.com and you will see the pay-per-view tablet drive. And it is bridging
Can
the
you
technological.
can you get your assistant to send that to my phone now, please? I can give it to my one of the
Wow,
producers
you
right
know
now.
I'm on the phone, and I
Oh
don't
Lord,
want
go
to,
ahead, go ahead.
yeah, but it is definitely on February 22nd. It will be aired on Coda. It's the amount is 49.99 for the stream. We have guest artists. We have a art auction. We have an auction as well, and most importantly, the party leader will be there and other distinguished guests. It is a black tie event, so I will dress up. My father will be there to perform. I will be performing, and I don't like to call out the other artists because when you call the artists for some strange reason they end up on the wanted list, and I do not want people to be disenfranchised or abused because they are supporting the inevitable. That being said, I am asking that your viewers support the tablet drive. And I see Walking with Divine Purpose. She's actually has the information, and I don't know if she can provide it while I'm speaking, but it's February 22nd between 7 and 10 o'clock. It's 3 hours of non-stop live action that you can see. And I hope that you support it, Jeffrey and Head Boy. I hope that you purchase a stream and
I
and
will.
Definitely.
become and
Definitely. I'll put the
every
stream.
every dollar that comes from the stream will go to the vision of getting 3,000 tablets by the end of March. I'm
I tell
happy
you
to
something,
say
Trader Isaac.
yes,
My my wife love to watch you, and I'm pretty much sure when I don't know if she's watching this now because I know she have a lot
yes.
of schoolwork to do. But I'm pretty much sure when she hear about this, she's gonna allow, she's gonna end up buying the stream to end up watching it.
All right, love that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. And the stream will facilitate the purchasing of tablets. And I have been speaking about the tablet drive. The company Geotech has partnered with me. So when you purchase one tablet, which is about $100, they give one free. So it works out to about 7,500 Jamaican dollars per tablet. And I'm hell bent. I'm currently, since the tablet drive and the support of the diaspora, have managed to issue 720 tablets to date. So we are getting there. I hope to shatter glass ceilings as I always do and get the tablets out. It's an initiative. It's not a political one because the children get these tablets. I don't care if your mother is a laborite, a Jehovah Witness, a Seventh Day Adventist, a PNP, don't like Rasta, is a maroon, is a whatever you are. Once you are a child, you have the
Our
right
never
to
dare
bridge
move.
the technical gap. Yes, sir.
Our never dare move party, the NDM.
Ne- I don't even, what's that? Anyway,
Never
yeah,
dare move.
never dare move. Yeah. whatever it is, no matter what your religious beliefs are, if you are a child, you have a right to bridge the technological gap, and it is a start to get into the era of learning you by the use of technology, because we are in that era in 2025, and that's the vision for Portland Eastern, and I'm hoping that other parishes will eventually adopt. And when it is that um, the People's National Party return to government, I will be having many conversations with Damian Crawford to ensure that what education looks like is one that would make Michael Manley proud.
Isaac,
Yes.
and everybody out there, join the 49.99 stream. Support Isaac Buchanan in his endeavors to make sure that the student in Portland has tablets. It's not a PNP venture, it's not a JLP venture, it's a Jamaica venture, it's a Portland venture, and pretty soon it's going to be a Jamaica venture. Let me ask you this question, though. Head boy, come on in, man. Ask you this question, though, Mr. Buchanan.
Sure.
Your views on the whole idea. Former Prime Minister, the most honorable Percival James Noel Patterson, was at a forum a couple of days ago, and he spoke about the constitution of this country.
Mm-hmm.
They have something in Parliament now that I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened in Parliament, because honestly, I don't understand it. For those people in Portland, for Jamaicans listening to you now, do you believe in a ceremonial head, or do you believe that the Jamaican people, once and for all, should vote for a leader, a prime minister or president? Your take on that?
Well, the last time I saw some ceremonial head, there was some church in Montego Bay, and the head of the ceremony was trying to cut off people's head. So if that's the ceremonial head you're talking about, throw it out with dirty bath water immediately. I do not want to be in Jamaica where it so happened to be that somebody, we already have the Speaker of the House, whom I love, right, is the wife of the prime minister. Imagine you wake up Monday morning next week and hear say the son of the prime minister is the president, and other than the UDC land that him already get, and I don't know where him get the money from to buy it at the age of 20, is now the president, and we have to pay him. No, you must vote. If we are changing it, what democracy looks like is you should vote for your head of state, and you should vote for your representatives. I even take issue with how our Senate is these days, because I see some people, they're not on neck, they're not a hair upon their head, and it's not that them shave it, is that them a lose it. No disrespect to the campaign manager, he look like he needs some Rogaine. But anyway, apart from that, I am firmly of the belief that we should always vote for our representatives. I'm firmly of a belief that I also believe that if you're redoing the Constitution, it should continue to strengthen, protect the people. I'm more concerned about maroon rights than ceremonial presidents. I'm more concerned about how the funds and taxpayers' dollars are allocated and the checks and balances. Impeachment ought in within the Constitution. If we're thinking about these things, that is where we are supposed to be. So no, I too take the position of the most erudite and honorable former prime minister that never lose in his life, the honorable PJ Patterson, and I believe that we should reject that and this umpy scumpy behavior where they are trying to circumvent the Constitution and disenfranchise the people to vote for what they want, including not becoming a republic. It must be put to the people. You do not know what the people want, and without that conversation, you're disenfranchising the people. And I believe that you must give the voters their importance, and not only when you want to trick them and give them $5,000 and a shirt with your ugly face on it, that people must buy into that. So that's my position on that. And I believe that our servants, which is what politicians are. If you want to be more than a mere servant, you should go look a career. So I have no hang-ups.
Head boy.
Right.
Oh, that's
Council,
yes,
you have in recent times, the
yes.
JLPC mainly have resurrected Idi Amin. Yes, I mean Idi
Mm-hmm.
Amin in the person of Marlon Morgan. Marlon made some statements the other day in relation to at the press conference they have, that
Mm-hmm.
he is aware that the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation is under investigation by two bodies. The questions were asked of him who those two bodies are. He said he could not
And I
say.
know that I know he has close contact with a member of the Jamaica Labour Party who has a funeral home. So he would best know which two bodies it is that gave him that information, because he clearly said. What I won't do is come on here, because I don't deal with people who I don't deal with empty barrel. So
Miles,
whether it is your physical disposition or your mental space is empty, whichever, take a pick. You don't just get up and put on a beret. You might as well did put on a tutti or whatever the ballerinas wear, because then the outfit would have been complete. But one thing I know is, um, in the absence of a gym membership, and I'm not going to call out any gym because I'm not endorsing anybody, sometimes you should just go and enjoy the food you eat, because when you're blowing hot smoke, nobody not listening to that. It is
You know something, head boy.
scandalous. No, because I don't have permission to answer them,
I know.
I just leave them. But what I will tell the Jamaican people is, you forfeit your rights to speak on any issue, especially when you're using ad hominem. You're attacking Dr. Dayton Campbell, who, even when it is law I deal with, there is no mechanism in law to even try to start to accuse or muddy the waters. How dare you speak of anything about what information you have when you have when Dalrymple returned? People forget about Royal Reed. We can talk about the scandals of corruption, and none of you have signed the code of conduct. You have no morality, you have no ethics, and you have no integrity. And anybody, they can curse me. I feel no way, because I can tell you this: every single year I get I have my good character certificate and my practicing certificate. So they can say whatever they want. But you see, because I am regulated, I gotta save my $500,000 this year, because I'm not feeding anybody with my hard-earned money. I don't teach
Hold
my
on
money
there.
to work hard for mine.
Hold on there. 'Cause we have to
Yes.
do this now.
Call it Andrew, call it, and I man will sound the trumpet.
And I said, if you think you're bad, Mama B would say to Andrew, call it, because we shall win.
Yes. So my team is saying that I'm gonna have to depart.
Yes,
But
I know.
yes.
But before you go, we have two more questions. One from me, one from it, but I allow you to go.
Sure, go
And
ahead.
in your closing, I want you to speak to the people of Portland and to the people of Jamaica in your closing. But the question I need to ask you though, you said that okay, in the Constitution, they're saying that we should say bye bye to King Charles and his monarch and whatever they have over there and all sort of shebangara. Do you believe that Jamaica's final court of appeal should be the Caribbean Court of Justice?
So, as one of I am 100% confident that I am one of a handful of lawyers that have practiced both at the CCJ, the final court, at the appellate jurisdiction, and both at the Privy Council at the final as the final court. I simply wish to say that the judges of the CCJ are equally as erudite and competent as those at the Privy Council. I'll go as far as to say when it comes to, they call it FUBU, for us, by us, constitutions and issues that deal with our business as Afro-Caribbean people and Caribbeans at large in a melting pot. The CCJ is more positioned to deal with them as having been educated, having been educated at the Norman Manley Law School, the Hugh Wooden Law School, and the DePaul Law School in Bahamas. I believe that the way how the CCJ is set up in terms of the fund, judicial
Oh Lord, Mr.
yes.
Mr. Buchanan.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes,
Yes.
what happened to you? They
Sorry
use
about that.
Pegasus and back you out?
Yeah, I think that a call came in, but for those reasons, I'm saying for those reasons, I think if the country decides, and it is the people who is to decide that they want to be a republic and remove the king, then the natural process is a total removal, and then the CCJ is a conversation to have. I do appreciate the apprehension or the controversy that flows because some Rastaman went to the Privy Council and stood up for their favorite dancehall artists, and justice was served through the Privy Council. But that is a matter for the people to have. So I, as much as I have the greatest respect for my party leader, who, as a competent attorney, it follows that if you're becoming a republic and and your reason for being a republic is to rid yourself of our slave masters and the remnants of slavery, then remove yourself completely, because you're saying let us remove ourselves from the king but go to his court.
Mm.
That's Humpty Dumpty behavior. All the king's horses and all the king's men can't put Jamaica together again if we take that approach. So I can see why it is that if you are speaking conversations of a republic, the final court should be the CCJ. That is sound logic. What I will reject, because take it from me, I don't have no problem with the Privy Council, I love foreign, I love big foreign. You understand? I love big foreign because you feel like you're going to do a big case when you go big foreign. But
And,
anyways,
and, and, and,
that's a soup. It's just that I'm just showing you how that's a superficial
yes.
conversation, because I've made the argument that the CCJ and my social work students would be proud. I'm doing their homework now. I hope they're not watching. I've made the argument for why the CCJ is a viable option. What is not an option is a final appellate court in Jamaica. I reject that wholeheartedly and pray it never happens in my lifetime of 89 years. And if by 4 score years and 10, there be more years than that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
Head,
for me, yeah, go ahead.
I know. The president of the Senate was talking about Jamaica's court here in Jamaica. The final court should be in Jamaica. Anyway, let's not get into that part. Because if I start with the president of the Senate, I may get a call after this. Head boy,
Is a family member?
head boy, go ahead.
I know business in family business. Go ahead, Ed boy.
Business, exactly. No, more than what I'd say. My final statement to you, Council, is more of an encouragement.
Yes,
I've been in East Portland when my good friend, who I am not happy that to this day we have not heard a final decision as to who, a final court decision as to who, what happened in his death, Linval Bloomfield. So
yes,
I supported Linval when he was going up against, when Andrea Moore was challenging him. Andrea Moore was also a very good friend. And so I want to tell you from where I sit with the internal connections I know in Portland, the people are happy to have you there. They have welcomed you there. They consider you a part of them. Obviously, your roots are from there, from the Maroon territory. So you're
yes,
more than welcome. And I want to tell you, I am, as a man from Region 2, I am looking
yes,
forward to see East Portland return to where it originally belongs. And so I want to encourage you on your journey. I mean, politics is not for the light-hearted and the faint-hearted, and I know you're none of those. So I want to encourage you on your journey, and I'll be looking forward to not just election night, but whilst I move around in the region, I will definitely be coming to give you some support, because we know that once Region 2 stands up, there's no way the People's National Party cannot form government. So I wish you the
Amen.
best. Region 2 is the key. So I wish you the best. And I say to my friends in Portland, give Isat your full support. Your mother, Isat, by the way, Reverend Porteous, is somebody I
Yes.
know very good from Central Kingston. Very good. She was
Mm-hmm.
very close to my teacher in seminary, which was Dr. Garnet Roper. So she has
Okay.
my you guys. Yes, you remember Reverend Roper. So she has my
Yes, I
you have
do.
our full support. We know you come from good stock. So I want to tell the people of Portland, give my brother your support. You will have a very good MP, and finally, we'll get rid of the one that is dancing. You know what? Let me not say what I was gonna say. All the best, counsel.
Isaac,
Thank you
I
very
want to
much.
speak to the people of Portland now and to the Jamaican people. Go ahead.
So the first thing I'm going to say is we are at an impasse. We are at a crossroads in Jamaica where the people of Jamaica are voting for their life. They're voting for their right to be a human being. They're voting for the opportunity to be included in the economy of Jamaica. Economic prosperity, which is different from the false prosperity as posited by the Prime Minister. A rejection of the People's National Party is a choice of a life of doom and gloom and famine on the land. We have an opportunity to start to ensure that food security is something that we have, especially when we are connected to the world at large. And you'd have seen the actions of Donald Trump, an action which is to protect the citizens of his country, which is his right to do. There are times when we think that race pride, country pride is something that is evil to the people who is not a part of something. But I want the people in Portland Eastern to know that I am here to uplift you. I'm here to ensure that the future, which is your children and your children, will have Portland for themselves. We must save the Blue Lagoon. We must save the Prospect Fishing Village. We must save all of the landmark and the heritage that is Portland. It was there before those who now have entered the arena to take for themselves. We must stop that. We must give the chance for all persons in Jamaica to be the citizens of the world that we are. Special people. We are the gem of the Caribbean. We share that with our Caribbean brothers and sisters. We in everything else in life, when there are few, it is expensive. Because we are few, we must treat each and every life as something that is given to us without knowing we are to receive it, and that it is expensive. So our brothers and sisters will return to valuing life. We will reduce crime, and the result of that is countries will respect us and remove the visa requirements, because we'll be upstanding citizens of Jamaica, and the world will want us. They already want us, the ships and the planes are coming in droves. It's just that is we are more than just the physical. We have a lot to offer to the world. And that is important. And I'm just saying that this election is more than just dancing around and cutting grass on the floor and empty promises. It's about your future and your life. And I am here for you. And together we can be the role model for the rest of Jamaica. Imagine
And,
Portland having everything. Mhm.
mhm. And I want to say this on the behalf of my wife and the Make We Talk program. You and I had conversation when you first started to thinking about going into this field here.
Yes.
And I said to you, I think it's best for you to stay out of it.
Hmm.
I remember saying that to you. And you said to me,
That is true.
it's best that you go into it because you have to make a difference. Staying out is one, but in it, you can make a difference. And I
Yes.
support you. And I want to say this publicly. I take you as a friend and I admire you and the work that you're doing. I'm proud of you as a young man who come from a well-respected family. Get yourself in a little ding-dong, but you pull your socks up and you move on. And you become one of Jamaica's finest human rights lawyer of all time. And somebody who don't remember where you're coming from. In all that you speak, you always have God before you. And Isaac, I want that on election night, this Make We Talk program can run a breaking news and said Isat Buchanan is the next member of parliament for East Portland. I lift my hat to you, my friend, and I wish you all the best. And I know for a fact that you will lead the people of Portland, that you will be there for them. Same way you walk hills and valleys to get their vote, you will continue walking hills and valleys when you become the member of parliament to make sure that they have water, roads, food to eat, light, the basic things that they need. I know that you will be there for them. And as I said before, my friend, I lift my hat to you. I'm proud of you. May God bless you in all that you're doing for your people and for the people of this country. And may you stand up for that young lady, that TikToker young lady, because when I heard it on Andre's program, I called a police friend of mine and I said, is there such a program? He said, no, it's illegal. And I will say this to you tonight, Isaac. Go ahead, go out there and make us proud. Go out there and fight for the people of this country like how Nelson Mandela and Martin Luther King fight. I can't enter politics. I was told not to do that. I would love to, but I was told not to do that. So I will support you in any way I can. By just shutting up my mouth, I will support you, my friend. God bless you and thank you for coming on the program.
All right, blessings, man. Good night to you, to your listeners and your viewers. Head boy, blessings, and thank you for the encouragement.
And
Good night,
and
Counselor.
tell
All
us
the
about
best.
your drive before you go again.
Oh, the tablet drive. Yes,
Yeah.
the tablet drive. There is a fundraiser on the 22nd of February. It's being held at the S Hotel. But for the people in the diaspora, there is a pay-per-view from Coda Network where you download the stream for $49.99 and you'll be able to watch the entire function. It's a black tie event, and there will be performances, there will be an auction, prizes and surprises, and it's all in aid for the tablet drive and the students of Portland. I will send to you the streaming information, but that is the black tie event, and certainly I'm looking forward to the support from the diaspora. Just download the stream, tell a friend, purchase the stream so that we can hit the 3,000 mark for the tablets by the end of March. And I thank you in advance. And I'm going to give you some breaking news before I go. We're not going to talk about it, but there's a famous prime minister who I
Hold on, man.
interviewed.
Hold on. Macaroni breaking news, no?
Well,
This is
Go
there's
ahead now.
a famous prime minister who I interviewed on my program that is coming to Portland Eastern to educate
Yes!
the people of Portland Eastern. And it will be an event, and Make We Talk Jamaica will cover it live. So do not want to miss that. Save the date, March 9th. I'm not saying no more. I'm gone. Me gone now. Later.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, you and I have to talk off air because I
All
can
right.
use my voice to advertise for you.
All right. Definitely.
Yeah, man.
All
Thanks
right.
very much.
Take
Yes,
it easy. All
wonderful.
right. Take care.
Good. Our good
Yes.
friend, Sir
Yes.
Isaac Buchanan, attorney at law, human rights attorney at law. Thank you for coming on. The son of the soil. Isaac, head boy. This has been a very good program between me, you and I. Eh?
I am not, brother. I know the listeners are tired, but let me tell you, Isat has re-energized me.
Yes.
I am just so impressed with Isat. And when I look at what Portland has now, right? What I see what Portland has now and what it can have, you're really just you're really overwhelmed because you see the level of the young people that the People's National Party is putting forward, Jeffrey. These are some very good young people.
Yes.
There are young people who you could send anywhere to represent you and you don't have to worry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we spoke of Danishka Williams, we speak of Isat Buchanan, the same in the same region. You have Omar Newell and Omar Woodbine. These are some excellent young people and young people who are bright,
Indeed.
very bright young people. Yeah, and so Michael Manley's philosophy of education is obviously redounding benefits to the
Mm.
People's National Party. And so I am just really impressed, and I know for sure that I will be giving my support to ISAT in Eastern. But I've been saying that for a long time. That two persons I want to see, you know that you and I have had some private
Yes.
discussions,
Yes.
that it is obvious that because you see why, Jeffrey, and why the people of Portland must understand this. If you want to break Vasism, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you want to break Vasism, it must start in East Portland.
Indeed.
It must start in East Portland because they are too barefaced and they have no regard for the people of Portland. None whatsoever. They believe they own Portland.
So
Yeah,
true.
and somebody needs to teach them a lesson. So all the best to you, brother Jeffrey. I'm sure you're tired.
I,
I
I,
don't know if you want to take a call or
yeah, I was thinking about opening up the phone lines for a little bit. The numbers are
yes.
954. Oh Lord, what did I do here? This is the numbers. There it is. 954-529-8030. What does it take on the program so far with Mr. Buchanan coming on and us chit chatting with him? 954-529-8030. It's also a WhatsApp number. You can call via WhatsApp 954-529-8030. I hope my producer can put this in the chat room also. The telephone number to call into the program is 954-529-8030. I want to say good night to the beautiful Gigi. Oh Lord, I know, I know she's one of those from over St. Andrew. Gigi, how you doing up St. Andrew? Anyway, Jeffrey, behave yourself tonight. The numbers to call is 954-529-8030. Head boy, when you sit down and listen to Isaac Buchanan, don't you think that he'll be a very good
Mhm.
attorney general or a good minister of justice?
I would love to see him as our Minister of Justice, and I'll tell you why. ISAT represents a new way of approaching justice in
Yes.
Jamaica, a new lease. He's a fresh mind, and obviously, a matter of fact, remember that currently now the spokesperson on justice is Donna Scott Motley. Typically, the ministers of justice come from the Senate, Yeah? It's been an historical thing for the ministers to come from the Senate. But, Mark Golding, in whatever way he shape his cabinet, I'm certain that there will be a space for Isaac Buchanan. He's very talented. One doesn't have to limit him to justice alone. He's very good on entertainment as well.
Mhm.
So there's a lot of space. There's space. I am telling you of how talented the PNP team is. You could pick any one of them and put them over somewhere because of the depth that is to the People's National Party team. How bad the JLP is that them have ministers going and resigning and stepping down, but them can't replace them with nobody from the backbench.
Mhm.
So that is to show you class is class, and I would take off the CL and say ass is ass.
Yes.
But let me behave me. Let me behave myself tonight.
And for those who want to know that when the time come for the event, in Portland. The Make We Talk program will be bringing it to you live from Portland, and I'm pretty much sure it will be on Partner Draw TV. But the Make We Talk program will be live from Portland whenever the time comes for us to do so, to support Sir Isat Buchanan.
And let me know, the world boss. That's what they call him, the world boss. So my friends from St.
Wait,
Vincent
hold on, no,
call
man.
him
Not
the
give out
world
the name.
boss.
Not give out the name yet. He never give no name.
He did say it. He gave it away.
Yeah, but
He told he interviewed
a
him.
lot of people don't remember who, you know.
Well, somebody just posted in the chat, Jeffrey. Nothing hides, you know. This is social media.
True. Hold on there.
So, whenever the individual, yes.
Good night. Welcome to the Make We Talk program. Turn off your radio in the background, please.
Yes, man, I am listening to Jeffrey live.
Yes. Who is this?
Yes, man, I'm calling from Jamaica, Westmoreland.
Where in Westmoreland are you calling from?
Savlamar to be like.
Oh Lord, that's a part of my area, you know.
Yes, man, I know you're from Orange Hill.
I'm from where?
Orange Hill.
No, sir, I'm not from Orange Hill at all.
Where you from?
It's all right. I'm not from Orange Hill, though.
Okay, what you have from Westmoreland?
Pardon me?
I have a problem with the government right now. I work for the National Studies Race for 17 years. And
hold on for me. Turn off your TV that you have in the background, please, or whatever you have in the background, because I'm having a feedback here in the studio.
Okay, I'm gonna just turn it on. I'll turn it on.
Yes.
Yeah, man, I'm listening to you with Isat Buchanan.
Right, but yeah, you have to turn it when you're calling to the program. You have to turn it down, though.
Yes, man. Okay.
Okay.
I worked with the National Service for 17 years. 2005 November until 2022 December. And until this moment, I didn't get $1 from the Minister of Local Government National Salary.
Hold on a minute. You have been working with the Ministry of National for the Solid Waste Department in the Ministry of Local Government and Works, huh?
Yes.
From what time to what time, you say?
I start working on November the 5th, 2005. And they give me, yes, and I get retirement letter from them 2022 December.
So they send your retirement letter that they're retiring you, but you haven't got you haven't got your retirement money.
No, yes, sir.
So hold on here. Have you spoken to the member of parliament for is it Eastern Westmoreland you are?
No, Central.
Central Westmoreland. Have you spoken to the member of parliament down there?
Who, sir? Who's the member of parliament?
You know who's the member of parliament for East for Central Westmoreland?
That's a madman, sir.
That's a madman?
Yes, he's a madman. He said that I'm dangerous, so why should I speak with him?
He said you are dangerous?
Yes, because I know no support People's National Party.
Oh Lord. Let me ask you this question though. Apart from the member of parliament who said that you're a madman. Lord Jesus have mercy, God.
No, he's not a madman, you know. He said I'm dangerous because he know my political career that I like to speak to people and tell them the truth.
Oh, he said you're dangerous and you said he's a madman.
He's a madman. Could I put man that can spell? He's just like Buckerman people spell bread.
Let me ask you
you don't know that he's a dunce. He's a very dunce person.
that's member of parliament, George, right?
Yes.
Well, I could concur with the sentiments of the caller, but let me be serious and help out the caller. Caller, you are not the only one that I am hearing facing this issue.
Very low now, Baba.
Every statutory board.
Hold on. Head boy, hold on. Go ahead now.
Okay, let me. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man.
Can you hear me now, caller? Right. So
yeah,
every statutory board.
Before you say something, I talk with doing that. And And he gave me the number for the KD Knights.
For the who?
KD Knights.
For KD Knight attorney at law.
Right. And I my pay stub that I have a box of pay because they said they cannot find.
No, hold on a minute. Hold on. You're breaking up. You have a box of what?
He said I have a box. If the pay check when I get my check,
No, hold on for me. Hold on. You are breaking up, sir. I can hardly hear you. Take your time, talk for me now. You have a box of what?
My pay stub. I have it in my hand right now. And I sent them to KD Knight. And he said he them a letter. I don't know how far at the moment, but if I pay something here, the minister they don't have from 2000 the first 6 years I worked, nothing for me. No information.
Jeffrey, see if you can take the caller number. If he could text you, so you save his number and we see if we can get somebody to look into this. Because he's not the only person that works with statutory bodies in Jamaica that is suffering from this issue. I know quite a lot of persons at Port Security Corps that they're suffering from the same. They send them home.
Yes.
Tell them it's retirement time and they give them and they're giving them issues to receive their money. Yeah. He's not the only one. So get his information. We see how we can help him.
I have to take his number indeed. But I want to ask him this question and have him to go and send me his number. Which administration sent you this letter that you're under retirement?
National Solid.
So and when was this? In 2022, you said?
In 2022.
Who was in power at that time?
Now the JLP.
Desmond Mackenzie, Minister of Local Government.
You know what? As what head boy said, it's when I come off here. WhatsApp me your number, please. Because this number you're calling from is a WhatsApp number.
Yeah.
WhatsApp me your number and I will see what we can do to assist you. Because that's what head boy said. A lot of people have been calling this program pertaining to true.
Yes, man. A lot of people have the same problem.
All right, my brother. We'll see what we can do for you.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And
all right, brother.
Yes, sir.
All right, good.
Okay. Brandon.
Hang up the phone to know.
All right.
The numbers to call is the right numbers. Divine Destiny is the right number. Divine Purpose. The number is 954-529-8030. But head boy, how on earth can you retire somebody and not pay them up?
Jeffrey, it's been happening in statutory bodies. Right now, I have at least 3 persons I recommended to a lawyer last week to have them do a class action to deal with the issue that they are having in terms of their retirement. We're seeing this thing as a trend. And let me tell you something. It's an administration that does not respect the labor laws. When you retire somebody, you're supposed to have the check in hand ready for them within 30 days, And then they proceed to getting the pension. So anyway, it's what it is, brother. I have never seen, and this is why this uncaring government, and the persons who are getting it the hardest are the persons who are the lowest level.
True. Wow, head boy, there's so many things going on in this country. It is now 9:46. Wherever you're listening, watching from around the world and the Eastern Caribbean, it's the Make We Talk program, live on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, and I think we're live on Jam Talk Vibes Internet Radio Station. I think we're live on there. I'm not sure, but I think we're live on there. I hope the feed is up because I know they've been having some problem with the feed from a month now. So let's pray and hope the feed is up. But head boy, I want you to give us your take on all what is going on in Jamaica, what is you see going to happen come the next general election, and then we're gonna wrap the program up.
Well, let me wrap up because I don't want to go beyond the 10 o'clock mark.
Hold on, hold on.
Yes, take the call. Take the call.
Good night, caller. Welcome to the program. You're live.
Good night.
Turn off your TV in the background for me, please, sir. Hello?
All right.
Turn off the TV in the background, please, sir.
All right. You hearing me now?
Loud and clear from Negril Point to Moran Point and Galena Head Mountain.
I'm calling from Manchester, Newfield. I don't know if you know Newfield, Newport.
Yes, man. I used to
That's where I'm.
campaign in those areas.
Okay, sir. Yeah. I was just saying to the caller while I'm gonna call, we're not getting no recompense. So that is just so this government do. Because look at all this Mike Henry and Carlton Moody. They don't get not even a goodbye letter. Nothing at all they don't get. So that's what this government do. They just work people and just dash them like garbage.
I think
And
I think it's the leader of the party, sir. Has no respect for
yeah,
nobody, sir.
for nobody at all. And Mr. Jeffrey, why people can't I can't believe why people can't see what take place, man. Eh? I want my something give them at the box food, you check them up, you know. I want really go on, man.
I don't know when get them, sir.
Boy, may I tell you something, Mr. Jeffrey, if PMP now win this election, God know me tell you say Bakra go grow. Bakra go grow to not like tree.
When, and that is why those who can vote go out and
Yeah.
vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote for, but go out and vote. The soul
Yeah,
of,
we can't tell nobody who to vote for, but them have to come out and vote.
the soul of
But
Jamaica's democracy, sir. The soul of Jamaica's
yeah.
democracy, sir, relies on you, the
And
Jamaican people.
we just have hope and beg God to help me, sir, because I know that can help me right now. God know. And
Jeffrey.
Isaac, the right man, good job. Mr. Isaac had do good. Make we put a blessing against him and we power everything and make him go through.
Yes. Head boy, I want to ask you a question.
So
Yeah.
how is it looking for you for the PNP in South Manchester?
Well, we're going clear. May I tell you the truth? Peter Bunting will take you with everything because Chin out with that prisoner, man. Even them plant all banana in the road before Bunting them come down, you know. All banana and cocoa in the road and children, you know. Everything in the plant in the road and I grow.
Hold on there for me, Carla. Hold on there for me. The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Make We Talk host or guest or the staff and members of this program. Go ahead for me, sir. Lord Jesus have mercy, probably.
Yeah, man, I said them plant cocoa run across ski little bit before me there. Them plant banana, chocho, and cocoa in the make road. Believe when I tell you that. And I do, and I tell no like people see it. You come out on TV.
So the
banana
tree that grow?
Yeah, man, it grow up. I don't know if it's beer yet. Maybe it's shoot and done, you know, because we couldn't tell my house background about it, that beer. Yeah, man.
You know, I'm laughing, but this is a very serious matter, though, you know.
The day me born, man, the wickedest set of people. And see, if your prime minister come out now, so the prime minister come out now, because say him a lead and he can't call the election. How you feel a lead and can't call the election? Eh? You should have called this week. If you are lead by 5% as the ruling party, no longer Thursday you should have called. But you know, let them go on, man. They think they gotta sleep, man. They never run away. But third term, the only third term Andrew Jones can get in a prison. You remember me tell you that. The only third term is in a prison. And thank you, and keep up the good work, and I'll be in touch, okay?
All right, sir.
All the best. Please call back. Please call back.
Remember to share the Make We Talk program and have people subscribe to the channel here.
Okay, sir. All right, good.
All right, man. Thanks very much.
Okay.
So, Manchester.
Okay.
That's Peter Bunting here now, head boy.
Absolutely. I love this caller. I don't know where you find him from, Jeffrey.
You know, sometimes, head boy, when I look on the algorithm in this YouTube channel here, I am shocked, you know, the amount of people in Jamaica watching us, the amount of people in Zimbabwe, South Africa, what do they call it? Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone. Yes, there's a lot of
Yes.
Jamaicans in Sierra Leone, you know. Don't you know that?
And Kenya. I know that the Jamaicans are in Kenya
Mm-hmm.
and all over the place. So, this, you know,
But the
sometimes when you,
sentiments of the man, it might. But what I kept on saying to you earlier, the ordinary Jamaican understands more than them. They think them understand, so they know you can't trick Jamaican people. You know, even if they never go school, you can't trick them because
yeah.
nothing beats street smarts all the time, as my grandmother used to say. But as we wait for the other call, we can just do the wrap up, Jeffrey, because I know we're on to the 10 o'clock, and I want to run myself here. We've been on for three
Yes.
hours and 30 minutes now.
Yes,
But
I need to get my and Ghana. Thank you for that's true. Brown Ghana too. A lot of people from Ghana watching us. Go ahead, head boy.
but as we as we
Hold on,
as we
Ghana.
chat the way,
A call coming
yes,
from Antigua
please,
and Barbuda.
please take the call. Please take the
Good night,
call.
Antigua and Barbuda. Welcome to the program.
Good night, Jeffrey.
Yes, turn off the TV in the background, Antigua and Barbuda. Yes, Antigua and Barbuda. Go ahead.
Yes, Jeffrey. You know, I just here listening the program with Isaac,
Uh-huh.
you know, and everything, whatever he said, he always reminisce back on Michael Manley,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So thinking that way is a very good way to always think about how Michael Manley operates.
Mm-hmm.
Because same way in the 80s, in the 70s, close to the 80s, when them have the summertage and food, Michael Manley was having Jamaica feeding ourselves to AMC market. Remember the market, eh?
What kind of market?
A market near AMC where farmers them would produce them food.
Yes.
And when we have gluttony, I go to
All
AMC
right.
and
Hurry up for me, caller. You have a minute leave because I need to wrap up on this and then more call coming in.
yeah man, so it's a good thing the candidates are thinking of them way there
Yes.
in order to build back Jamaica.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks much.
Yeah man, blessed.
Blessing. Oh Lord, the person.
Blessings, man.
Let
Blessings.
me call back the person who just calling us. Here it is. Trying to get back the person who just called us. Program. The person not answering, so okay. Right, the person not answering. Oh Lord. Head boy, I gotta run. I just realized something here. I think I know who's calling me. I have a meeting from 9 o'clock. Blessed God is now 5 minutes to 10. I don't remember. This is so sweet.
Anyway, Jeffrey, you know it is.
Yeah.
All the best, brother. And we, reach out to me whenever, and we'll plot the way. I want to thank your listeners. I want to thank those who have stayed on. Thank Walking in Divine Purpose for her moderation, and all of the persons who have been here. Gigi, everybody. I want to big you up.
Yeah.
It was a night well spent.
Indeed, indeed. I want to say I want to thank you also, head boy, for coming on. And I'll call you tomorrow because we have a special guest coming on tomorrow who couldn't come on tonight. So
Absolutely.
I'll talk to you about it tomorrow. I want to say thanks to all those who made this
No problem.
possible. Thanks to Head Boy, my co-host. Thanks to my other co-hosts who have come on, Marie Edwards, Wilfred Radigan, and others who unable to come on because of circumstances beyond their control. I want to say thanks to Walking in Divine Purpose, who continue to keep the chat room alive and going. Thanks to Gigi. Gigi says she not drink her Milo tonight, head boy.
Oh, good.
I haven't drank Milo in a long while. I want to say thanks to all of those who come on.
Well, if you want any, you can go out by Windward Road.
And
Bellevue.
And get some Milo out there.
You never used to, they used to tell you in Jamaica you can get Milo.
Jesus, have mercy, dear God. Tonight is a good program. Thank you all very much for coming. Until you hear my voice again, I'm Jeffrey Tavares saying so long. Thanks to Christopher Campbell, one of my good friends who keep on coming on this program. May God bless you. May God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Everyone have a great night. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. Until you hear my voice again, God bless you. And may God bless our island home, Jamaica land we love. Have a great night, everyone.
When the game gets rough and this life just seems so tough, make we talk, my people, make we talk. When this town becomes an ugly place, don't let it erase the smile from your face. Make we talk, people, make we talk. Conversation is the key, a guiding light for you and me. Spark a talk and you will see. Conflict solver A to Z. World leaders master the art of self-defense just by talk. So people, make we talk. Hey, we're living in a world that on ourselves we must depend. Make we talk.